hello to me?
I had him, so I was walking around.
Right?
Yeah, I know, and then I saw you after the game, and I'm like, Frank, I said to Frank, I didn't even say hi. How are you? Good. I know, but I was like, shoot.
How you doing?
Hey, Bud, how are you? You too.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for joining us again here on the Garnet Sports Network. We're just minutes away from the first pitch of doubleheader baseball action. We've got the Swarthmore College Garnet taking on the Dickinson College Red Devils. Had a little bit of pomp and circumstance today before the game as the press box and grandstand were dedicated to Ernie Prudente, the longtime head baseball and basketball coach here at Swarthmore, also a professor of physical education, nearly 30 years of service to the college, and was inducted into the Swarthmore Athletics Hall of Fame in 2015. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to have Ernie throw out the ceremonial first pitch before we get started here. And we'll have that for you on the Garnet Sports Network. I'm Roy Grime. I'll be on the mic today with Aiden Miller, and we'll be right back.
Could be worse. Could have been yesterday. I went to a high school game. Oh, did you really? How did that end up? The Yankees were up in the beginning.
He was watching it.
I was watching it. I went to a high school game yesterday. It was all right. Look, high school. It's like 2 minutes from the house.
He went. I like that way. I'm free. I'm not going.
When I started to see it, was like raining and then all of a sudden.
Hey, how are you? No. I'm kind of all over.
Sarah, we'll just sit over here.
I know, we kind of have crap all over. Sorry, okay, we'll move wherever you want to go.
I don't know where we're going now. That's the thing.
Wait till we bring the dog out.
So it goes in the neighborhood, right? Stand up.
Hey, dude, check-in time was 12 today.
12? Yeah, 12.
All right. So this camera out here, kind of like basketball. With this is like to get the nice hero cam shots and everything.
Frank, did you text my brother?
Yes.
Come on, time. Oi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're joining us here on the Garnet Sports Network. We are just about to get underway here. Just going over some ground rules. Going to have the national anthem in just a moment. Got starters for you. I'm going to read those to you in just a second. So, leading off for Dickinson will be number 4, Austin Sumners. Up next will be Robbie Thompson. The DH is Sakowitz. Catching is Hopkins. In right field, Carter. At first base, Riley. At third base, Band. Shortstop will be Brown. We'll take a brief interruption here for the national anthem. We'll be right back. And we're back. So going over that lineup again, leading off for Dickinson will be number 4, Austin Sumners in center field. Second will be number 6, Robbie Thompson in left. Next will be the designated hitter, number 2, Steven Sakowitz. In the cleanup spot will be the catcher, number 33, Rick Hopkins. After him will be number 31, Ben Carter out in right. Then it will be number 36, Garrett Kurtz. Sorry, some of these numbers are a little bit different than the numbers on this roster here. It's going to be Riley, number 36, Riley. Brian Riley, excuse me. And then it'll be number 13, Jake Band. And then the shortstop, Brown, will be up next. Max Brown from Annapolis, Maryland. Number 1, Mateski, and number 35, Vassell. And I believe I have the numbers from last year's roster here. That's why they're a little bit off. I apologize for that. But we'll figure it out as we go. And there's a brief pause in the game. One of the umpires looks a little bit shaken up here. That'll delay the game a little bit, but we'll give you the Garnet defense. Out in right field, we have A.J. Liu, a freshman, number 28. In left, number 3, Charlie Levitt, a sophomore. Playing third base will be number 22, Wesley Fishburne. The designated hitter, Connor Elliott, number 2. Number 23, Cole Beaker, will be at first base. Max Gruyan, a freshman, will be at short. Matt Palmer, number 7, a junior, will be at second base. Kenji Yoshi catching behind the plate, number 17. Out in center will be senior Ryan Burnett, and on the mound will be a sophomore, number 6, Charles Groppe. So Swarthmore playing 2 games today after finishing up the season series against Washington College yesterday afternoon. That game took nearly 4 hours, about 3 hours, 40 minutes. Swarthmore lost that one 9-8 in extra innings. The Garnet had a 5-run deficit after the third. They were trailing 8-3, and then they scored 5 unanswered runs to bring it back to 8. But unfortunately, the Garnet unable to come all the way back and steal that one from the Shoremen. A walk-off wild pitch in the 10th inning. Bases loaded. I believe there were no outs, maybe 1 out. That allowed the Shoremen to get the game-winning run. Earlier this week, those two teams faced off here at Clothier Field. Swarthmore erupted for 17 hits in a 12-2 victory. A nice performance from sophomore Sawyer Lake, scattering 4 hits in 7 innings to pick up the win there. Lake has been really promising freshman here for the Garnet. A very, very young team with over half its roster comprised of freshmen, only 3 seniors on that squad. Lake went 7 strong in that game, and Swarthmore took the win at home, but Washington able to answer back in the second half of the series. I'm going to be joined here on the mic by our resident baseball expert and former pitcher, Aiden Miller. Aiden, how are you doing today? What do you expect from today's doubleheader?
Well, Roy, you flatter me, but yeah, I'm excited for today. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky, a little crisp wind coming in from the north, it looks like. But yeah, I'm excited for today. We got a couple of aces on the mound, a great conference matchup, good ceremony this morning. Newly dedicated press box. I'm glad to be here, Roy.
Oh, yeah, it's an absolute privilege to be in this press box. Just a total upgrade from the previous situation, and we're really lucky and really grateful to have the opportunity to bring these games to you live from the Prudente press box here at Clothier Field. Aiden, I wanted to ask you, in your experience as a player, last night Swarthmore went to Washington. They clawed back from an 8-3 deficit, and then they fell in the 10th inning. How do you kind of get yourself kind of back level after a loss like that? A very emotional game where you rally, but then you ultimately lose. How do you come back and have to play 2 on a Saturday?
It's tough. It's definitely tough. That's the the struggle of the season, the ups and downs. You got to come right back after 24 hours ago. A tough loss, definitely a tough loss. Yeah, I've been there, but you got to come back. They got a great chance today to win 2. Tough conference opponent. Splitting with Washington College is definitely not ideal. They had it. Great fight towards the end there. But, yeah, you just definitely got to flush it. To come back today, they got a great chance today, though, Roy.
And we're still a little bit delayed. I think one of the umpires looked to be a little shaken up.
Yeah, we have a situation in the warm-ups, I believe.
So we're just a few moments away, hopefully, but a beautiful day for baseball here at Clothier Field. We're going to have 18 innings at least of conference play, so should be a good one. Let's look at the stats here, Aiden. You have before you a number of stat sheets. Today's starter will be Charles Groppe for the Garnet. Groppe had a pretty good freshman campaign. Not sure, I don't remember his win-loss record off the top of my head, but a very promising starter for the Garnet. Found his way into the rotation last year. Started a little bit late this season, playing his first game on spring break against Dominican, a game that Swarthmore won by a 10-4 score. And since then, he's been 1-2 with an ERA of 3.38. He's started all 3 games he's appeared in, 16 innings, 15 hits allowed, 6 runs, all 6 earned. So Groppe getting a little bit back into the swing of the things in the season, having started a little bit late, missing maybe a start or 2. And on the other side, we have, I believe, number 35. That is Ryan Vassell. Vassell with a 3.08 ERA, 2.2 win-loss record, 6 appearances, 6 games start. One of the 2 main starters for the Red Devils, it looks like, 38 innings pitched. He holds batters to a .228 batting average. And so like Aiden mentioned at the top of the broadcast, should be a good pitcher's duel.
Yeah, we'll see what Vassell brings today, but Groppe's a strong starter. He likes to work that fastball and slider combination. We're looking forward to seeing that today. If he can keep that fastball low, that's where he has a lot of success. then third time around in the order he'll work the changeup in. But it's definitely that fastball slider combination that I'm gonna look for today.
Absolutely, and Swarthmore, I think the philosophy of the Garnet is definitely, you're going to play whoever the opponent is, you're going to show up and play. It really doesn't matter who you're playing, but I think Swarthmore probably happy not to see number 27, Billy O'Neill. I think he pitched earlier this week against Muhlenberg in what was a win for the Red Devils. O'Neill, one of the leaders in the conference in ERA at 1.18, a sterling 6-0 record for O'Neill, who I believe is a sophomore. Swarthmore missing him, but again, like I said, Swarthmore's they're gonna go out and they're gonna play whoever shows up. But it's always good, it's always fortunate when you can maybe miss an ace in the rotation and see maybe the 2 guy or the number 3 guy. Definitely helps your hitters feel a little more confident.
For sure, absolutely, yeah. No, but definitely the philosophy advocated by Midkiff is we don't care who's on the mound, we're just gonna hit, and they did that definitely this week at a somewhat sluggish start to the season offensively. Maybe this week they really exploded, especially against Washington College.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
And yesterday, sorry to interrupt you, Aiden. Yesterday they managed 15 hits. They did start a little bit slow in that game, a couple fielding miscues in the first couple innings as things kind of needed to get smoothed out. But between those 2 games against Washington, they had 32 hits.
Yeah.
And 20 runs. So hopefully we can see some kind of offensive production like that here today.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all about that start, the quick start. They had A.J. Liu at the top of that lineup. Started off with a couple good hits right from the get-go.
A.J. Liu has been he's been a real revelation, I think, for the Garnet. Didn't start so well to the season, but yesterday he went 4 for 5.
Yeah.
And against DeSales he went 3 for 4. So he's been a really good bat at the top of the order, getting things started, kind of setting the table a little bit for guys like Charlie Levitt, Wesley Fishburne.
Right.
Another guy who's been really good, Connor Elliott, but also Cole Beaker.
Yeah.
He's been the freshman first baseman who does a little bit of pitching here and there. He has been big for the Garnet. He and Max Gruyon had a couple 3-hit games.
A couple of the wonder kids. The freshmen have really been coming up. This year.
And it's great to see your young players really kind of get into the swing of things as we head to conference play. We mentioned Sawyer Lake earlier. He's been one of those guys who, he didn't have a great start in his first collegiate game, but since then against, trying to remember who he played against spring break, against Drew and against, against DeSales, or not DeSales, against Washington College earlier this week, he was really, really strong. And so, you see these players kind of hitting their stride as we head into conference play, and that's sort of how the schedule's designed, I guess, to kind of, you maybe have some of those bumps in non-conference when you play, strong opponents, but when then you get to conference, you're playing a little bit more regularly. These are teams you've seen before. You know what to expect more or less. That's when you're kind of getting things going. And we're definitely seeing that a lot here from this young Garnet squad as the delay is prolonged a little bit. We're going to actually take
delay has kept it on. The players seem to be entertaining themselves.
Yeah.
Exchanging notes on a baseball thrown between the dugouts. So we'll see how this plays out here.
It's one of those things. I feel like baseball is a game of downtime, and so you're always a little bit restless, kind of chomping at the bit to try to get in there, because when you bat once maybe every 2-3 innings. When you pitch, maybe you're pitching one every 3 games, and so a lot of downtime. And it's interesting how the players how they occupy their time. But we're actually going to take a quick break here. I'm going to try and find the correct Dickinson Red Devils roster here for you. I appear to have the one from last year, and we'll be right back here on the Garnet Sports Network. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for sticking tight here with this delay. All right, we're back here on the Garnet Sports Network. Still a little bit of a delay. I think one of the umpires was hit by a pitch, and so we're trying to figure out if playing with the one umpire. Got a couple shenanigans here going on. Not sure. Maybe some duck hunting or something. That's what it looks like to me. We saw a little bit of curling action.
Some bowling.
Bowling action. Maybe we'll see a little bit of jousting action here.
If you're a sports fan, this is where you want to be. We
Yeah.
got all sports on the field today. All of them.
Never a dull moment here at Clothier Field. As both teams are entertaining themselves. Looks like pitcher Jackson Ramey was hunted, brought back by the
Successfully brought back.
Going to be eating well tonight. Speaking of eating well, I wanted to ask your opinions on Sharples, Aiden. How do you feel Sharples has developed in the last couple of years? I myself am a 2014 graduate. Things are a little bit different since when I was a student. For those of you not aware, Sharples is our dining hall here at Swarthmore, the only dining hall on campus. What are your unfiltered opinions about Sharples?
Well, my unfiltered opinions on Sharple. Well, this could go on for quite a while. I have many opinions about Sharples, but convenience is something that people forget. I think at times, and there is value. I've discussed with some of my friends who've entered the real world post-graduation. They say that the convenience is something that they definitely miss. But in terms of quality of the fare at Sharples, it's pretty hit or miss, I would say.
Yeah, I think hit or miss is probably the right term. I think that there's the fan-favorite bars that everybody loves, and then there's the cult classics that some people seem to like and other people don't really.
What was your favorite bar?
My favorite bar, I mean, you can't really go wrong with some of the Thursday bars.
Thursdays are good.
Got someone paddling the waters here, testing a little bit of canoe action.
Wow, he seems to be making a turn.
Making the turn. That looks like pretty good technique. I'm not much of an outdoorsman.
It looks like there's a fish over here on the right.
Okay.
Got
an angler in our midst.
Setting the lure. I think he's using a bobber.
Okay.
Oh, he's taken.
Got him on the reel. Now you got to push him. Now you got to pull him in.
Let's reel him in here.
Oh, it looks like Ryan Burnett, senior center fielder, helping the Dickinson fisherman over here with the catch of the day. Probably going to be
this poor fish has to go a long ways.
Long way. That's going to be
a sizable distance.
Now the whole Garnet squad is helping him out here, bringing him in.
That's a good catch. Catch of the day.
We're going to be serving that in between games here at Clothier Field. Well done. Looks like the catch of the day was number 5, Roberto Valentini.
What's he weighing in at?
He I got it. Don't have his weight. I have his height. He's 5'7".
We got to know if he's we can keep him. Maybe catch or release here at Clothier Field.
I think he looks like a sizable young man.
We'll keep him.
Probably feed the masses here. 5'7" freshman from Edgewood, Rhode Island.
Oh boy, what's brewing here? Burnett seems to be leading the ranks.
He's got a ball, got some offering, accepted by the Dickinson player. Not sure what we got here. Players crowding around to get up a little bit closer.
It does look that we have our umpire back, but
we do have an umpire back.
Many will be chagrined that the festivities will be ending.
Yeah, but the game before the game has to give way eventually. You got to focus. You got to play. You're here for one reason, to play some baseball. And after a little bit of a delay, where it looks like we're going to do that thing and play some baseball here.
Let's do the thing.
We're going to play 2. So, as I mentioned before, we got Charles Grappie on the mound, Kenji Yoshi behind the plate for the Battery. We got, looks to be one umpire, if I'm not mistaken.
We're doing it with one.
In your experience, Aiden, did you ever play with one umpire? What was that like?
This is a first for me. I'm going to be honest. Definitely at the collegiate level. I don't think I have seen this before. It's going to be tough making those calls on plays at second. But this guy seems to be up to the task. It's going to require a little bit of athleticism, I think, on his part to be able to move around, get good angles. we'll see how it manifests itself. But I think it's a good sign that we are going to get this game going.
Yeah, and Swarthmore was one of actually the only team, along with Washington, to play yesterday afternoon. All the other squads moved their games to Sunday, so Swarthmore has 2 games today, and then they're done for the weekend. But other Centennial Conference schools will be playing 2 games today and then another one on Sunday, so they got a little bit left to go. And Swarthmore got that one in yesterday among 25-mile-per-hour winds up there, I should say down there in Chestertown, Maryland. As we got our first batter coming up to the plate, it'll be number 4, Austin Sumners. Leading off for the Red Devils, number 4, Austin Sumners. Let's see with Sumners. Sumners is hitting .344 this season. He's got 18 runs, 21 hits, slugging .492, on-base percentage of .455 from the leadoff spot. Let's see how Groppe starts off this game. Out there for a ball, 1-0 the count.
Looks like a good fastball from Groppe. That's going to be the name of the game, especially these early innings, first time through the order. That establishing that fastball early on, 2-seam, running away from these lefties.
And that one fouled off. Count now at 1-1. Got a lot of festivities going on today. We've got plenty of hot dogs, maybe some hamburgers. I think Sack is grilling up some stuff for D3 week. Just a great atmosphere here at Clothier Field.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than this.
Groppe misses low and a little bit outside on that one, 2-1.
Looked like he changed speeds with that one.
Grounder to Gruyon to Beaker, 6-3 for the first out.
Nice pitch from Groppe there.
Now batting number 6, Rob Thompson.
And that will bring up number 6, Robbie Thompson. Thompson has started 17 games this season, made 17 appearances, hitting .297, 64 at-bats, 19 hits, 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 15 RBI. Ranks second in the team with runs batted in here. The right-hander. That one in there for a strike, 0-1, as we have one down here in the first inning. Ball back to the pitcher. Groppe fields that one easily. Nice pitch and catch with Beaker for the 1-3, 2 down. Good start from Groppe here. And that will bring up Steven Sakowitz, the designated hitter. Sakowitz bats .333, started 20 games this year, 25 hits, tied for second on the team along with Max Brown. 5 doubles for the extra base hits, no triples, no home runs. More of a singles hitter, it appears. Sakowitz. Ball high, outside. 1-0. Need to clear the scoreboard there. Swing and a miss from Sakowitz. Believe that makes it 1-1. Believe that's correct, Aiden. Count is at 1-1.
I'm pretty sure it's 2-1.
2-1. Okay,
Yep.
I stand corrected. I must have missed the first pitch. Ball is off the bat. It will fall into shallow center for a single by Sakowitz. Ball stopped by Burnett there. One of the 3 seniors on this team. One of 2 on the defense today. Wesley Fishburne the other. Steven Matos Torres, the 3rd member of the class of 2017. And coming up to bat will be Rick Hopkins, the catcher. Hopkins hitting .349, leading the team, 29 hits, 9 doubles, 16 RBI. Slugging .458, on-base percentage of .411, but he does have 14 strikeouts so far this year. Got a runner on first with 2 down for Hopkins.
This Dickinson team likes to run, so it's going to be important.
Ball put into play on the first pitch. Still up, Levitt running it down, diving, hits the wall, and it looks like Sakowitz is getting the signal. He's going to go all the way from first. Little bit of aggressive base running there. I'm not sure how that's going to be scored, if it's going to be a double in an air or a triple. But
I think that'll be a double.
double advancing on the throw.
Yeah, I believe it. Levitt missed the cutoff man Gruyan out in shallow left, and Sakowitz comes in to score.
Not ideal for the Garnet. It looked like I thought Sakowitz would be dead to rights there at third. Not sure what happened there.
Well, Hopkins is on third right now.
Hopkins, that's correct.
Yeah, no, but that was alert base running on his part. Fishburne had to leave his post at third to go recover the errant throw, and he took advantage of it. Groppe was backing up home, thought the play was at home. Merely, it's all about hitting those cutoffs. Unforced error there.
Ball called there. So Sakowitz will score for the first run, and we've got Carter, number 31, at the plate. That's Ben Carter, who's seen limited action so far this year, hitting .520, 13 hits, and 25 at-bats. Count is 3-0. Groppe a little bit behind here. Probably going to take this pitch. Carter swings instead, fouls it off.
Got the green light there. 3-0 count. Groppe struggling a little bit with his command there. Surprised to see Carter with the green light.
Yeah, usually you'll see on a 3-0 count, you'll see players more often than really, pretty much all the time, more often than not, take that pitch, but decided to swing at it. And he swings at that one. Easy grounder to Gruyan. Gruyan to Beaker. That will end the inning, but not before Dickinson scores a run on that RBI double, I suppose, by Rick Hopkins. That will score the designated Steven Sakowitz, who singled to center field. Swarthmore trails after the top of the first, but they'll be up to bat, and leading off will be A.J. Liu, the right fielder, the freshman number 28. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be right back here on the Garnet Sports Network. And we're back here on the broadcast as Vassell, number 35, takes a couple more pitches. Ryan Vassell. He'll be on the mound for the Red Devils here.
We'll see if A.J. Liu can get off to that hot start that prompted the last couple offensive explosions for the Garnet.
Yeah, A.J. Liu has really come into his own these last 2 weeks. He's a freshman from, I know he's from Texas. I want to say he's from Plano, Texas. Yep, freshman right-hander from Plano, Texas. Let's see if he can get a run back for the Garnet. Little windy here, just a little bit of a breeze. Got the windows open in the Prudente press box. It feels great to say that. That is fouled off by Liu. Count will be 1-1.
Good hack from Liu there. A healthy hack, as they say. He's not one to get cheated.
Count is 1-1. Ball is put into play. It's high, and it looks like the right fielder is under it. That's number 31, Carter. And that'll be the first out of the inning. That will bring up the left-handed left fielder Charlie Levitt. Levitt bats left but throws right. A sophomore from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Charlie Levitt. Swings at the first pitch he sees. Under the glove of the second baseman. Diving there was Matiski, number 1. And that's a quick single for Charlie Levitt.
Really ambushing that fastball there. Pitcher
And
trying to get one over early on him. Said, I'll take it right back up the middle. Now we got a base runner on Charlie. Quick. One to steal. See if we can get a little rally going here. Wesley Fishburne up to bat.
And we'll see if Levitt will try to steal second. He's working against a left-handed pitcher, though. That does decrease the stealing chances a little bit. Fouled off by Fishburne. 0-1.
As you were saying, Roy, a lot of times it's hard to steal on lefties, so a lot of times you'll hear go on first move, where you don't really care if he's coming to first or home. Just go his first look. But Vassal here is implementing a slide step, trying to keep Charlie. He knows that he's a base runner. Good stealing opportunity. Trying to get to home a little bit quicker.
Fishburne 0-2 now. That one is fair to the third baseman. The throw is, I guess, that was just to put in a really good spot. Fishburne had the speed to get there.
Yeah.
The throw was a little short, but I mean, even if the throw was good, it wasn't going to make it to first base in time to beat Fishburne, and that will move Levitt to second, put Fishburne on first for Connor Elliott. Elliott has had, I don't know if I guess you could call it a breakout year. He had a solid year last year,
sure.
but he's hitting .349, leading the team. 29 hits already, 15 runs, 18 RBI. Leading the Garnet in most hitting categories here so far this year as he takes the first pitch for a ball. And he's got a good opportunity here to maybe score a run, maybe 2, or get himself on base for the next guy up, Cole Beaker. Beaker had a nice game yesterday with 3 RBIs. So the heart of the order coming up for the Garnet and a lot of opportunities to score. Elliott swings at that one, popped up, foul, out of play. 1-1 now, 1 gone. That was A.J. Liu flying out to right field in the first at-bat of the game. Got some barbecue smells coming in here to the press box. Might have to get a snack in between games or even in between innings. That one off the plate, 2-1 for Elliott. What could be better than barbecue and baseball on a nice spring day here at Swarthmore College? Can't beat it.
No, you cannot. Oh.
Elliott hits that one high to left field, and that will be a routine play for the left fielder, number 6, Robbie Thompson. That'll have 2 outs, no runners advance, and Cole Beaker up to the dish now.
23, Cole Beaker.
We have a number of other Swarthmore teams in action today. Softball playing 2 at Ursinus, starting at 1 and 3. We got tennis at men's tennis will be at Gettysburg. Women's tennis playing at Gettysburg and McDaniel. That Gettysburg match rescheduled from a couple weeks ago. Levitt off the base, but not too far off to get picked off. Men's and women's lacrosse will travel to Gettysburg to play the nationally ranked Bullets. The women playing number 5 Gettysburg. On the men's side, the Swarthmore will face 15th ranked Gettysburg. We've got track and field at the Westchester Invite as that one goes in for a ball.
Starting off with a breaking ball for Beaker here.
Beaker has, I believe he had 3 hits against Johns Hopkins in that second game, the nightcap, if you will. I know you like that one, Aiden. And yesterday against WAC, he had, I believe he had 3 hits and 3 RBIs in that effort, and some really clutch hits, with the bases loaded. I think he drove in 2 runs when they were at 8-3, and then when it was 6-8, I believe he drove in 1 or 2 runs to tie it up. So yeah, Beaker has not really felt the freshman jitters so far. Big time hitter.
There's been a lot of those. The freshmen this year have been really stepping to the plate. Not to use a pun there, Roy, but
I appreciated it.
A lot of them have shown no signs of wariness about coming to the college level. They've got 5 or 6 freshmen that really have shown a lot of promise, and it shows here. Vassal being a little wary of Beaker's bat, throwing a lot of breaking pitches. Knows that he's a good fastball hitter. It's kind of been documented in the league now that these freshmen are here to play.
Absolutely. The young Garnet are not messing around. Taking Johns Hopkins to the distance in the 9th, making them get a walk-off there. That was number 19 Johns Hopkins last week on Saturday. Count is 1-2 here. Apologies for the delay in the broadcast graphic. Count is at 1-2. 2 outs. Beaker reaches for that one, and he is sat down swinging. Looks like
a lot of those curveballs from Vassal against Beaker there.
Not sure that was the pitch he wanted, but
no, definitely not.
Swung and missed. And the Garnet will come back out on defense here, trying to get a 0 up on the board there. And we'll take a brief break as Grappy throws a couple of pitches on the mound. And we'll be right back here on the Garnet Sports Network. And we're back here in the top of the 2nd. Dickinson leading 1-0 after that double from Hopkins that drove in Sakowitz. And at the plate right now is Brian Riley taking that first pitch off the plate for a ball. Riley hitting .310, 29 at-bats so far this year, a little bit of a smaller sample. Takes that one for a ball. Grappy falling behind a little bit, 2-0 here. That one is to Gruyon at short. Gruyon throwing. He gets it to Beaker. Routine 6-3, 1 out.
Good play by Gruyon. He's been a sure asset down to shortstop after Fishburne's injury. We didn't know there was a massive hole there at short. Up the middle, Gruyon's been good. Again, these freshmen, they can play, huh, Roy?
Yeah, they can definitely play. And Gruyon, not only defensively, but he's been hitting the ball really well. As in addition to be filling in at short, as that ball off the plate. And so Gruyon playing short allows Fishburne to slot over to third, where he's definitely an asset. That one's inside, but for a strike. 1-1 count. I believe Fishburne actually didn't play yesterday. He forgot his jersey, from what I understand.
That is the rumor that's been going around.
That one goes for a strike, 1-2.
A little bit of absent-mindedness from the All-Centennial Conference.
Shortstop.
Yeah.
Now third baseman. Well hit ball, but falls right into the glove of Ryan Burnett in center. And Grappy working pretty well, getting 2 outs. Bringing number 3, Max Brown, to the plate. Brown has started all 24 games so far this season for the Red Devils. He's hitting .321, got 25 hits, 7 doubles, 2 triples, and 1 home run. Kind of surprising, though. 25 hits and only 7 RBIs. guess he sort of hits later in the order, not getting as many base runners to drive in. Count 2-0. Takes that pitch for a strike, 2-1.
Good slider from Groppy there. That's that pitch that he likes to work in. Really can throw it at any time in the count.
That one off the plate, 3-1.
Comes back with that same slider.
Ball hit between the gap and the left side past Fishburne. Grabbed up by Levitt. That'll be a single for Max Brown. And now batting will be number 6, Max Matilski. Matilski is the 9-hitter. We're about to get back to the top of the order with Sumners. Matilski hitting just .257 so far this year. See if he can do some work with 2 outs. Big
Good
swing and a
pitch.
miss.
Good pitch from Groppy. See, that's that slider that'll throw early in the count, late in the count. Great pitch there.
Groppy throws over to first. Nothing comes from the pickoff. Count remains 0-1.
Groppy doing a really good job changing up his looks, making sure the runner at first is not, able to time him up, get a good jump. We're in a stealing situation here with 2 outs.
Ball popped up. Looks to be Burnett under it. He's had to do a little bit of working around there, but he
We got
makes
a high
the catch.
sky, a high sky today with no clouds.
Yeah,
Sun right up top. Tough on these outfielders.
yeah, but luckily there's not a lot of wind to move the ball. Well, I guess there's a slight breeze coming in, but nothing like yesterday when it was pretty blustery. And Swarthmore look to get that run back here as they trail 1-0 heading into the bottom of the second. Coming up after Beaker ended the inning there, I think it'll be Max Gruyon, the shortstop, to lead off the inning. We'll take a little bit of a break, but we'll be back very shortly here on the Garnet Sports Network. And we're back to the action here. I understand there's a shout out you want to give Aiden to.
No, I just was remarking on. There's a lot of great alumni that came back for this special event today, and a couple faces that aren't here. Cody Rubin, definitely in the house, fan favorite. Everyone loves him. Real campus. Oh, Gruyon rips one down the line, a little bit foul, but no, Cody Rubin, miss him. Not around. Would have enjoyed today. Was a big baseball guy, Cody Rubin. We'd be proud to see some of these young guys they didn't get to meet in his old days as a second baseman, leadoff hitter.
I saw Nate Booth earlier here today. I believe he's still.
Nate Booth.
As Gruyon takes that one for a ball, 1-1.
It's definitely a good occasion today. A lot of the ceremony brought a lot of good faces out. Happy to see some old alums.
Gruyon hits that one to the shortstop, fielded cleanly and out at first. At short, that is number 3, Max Brown. And Matt Palmer will be up to bat. Palmer didn't start the season off at second base, but really earned a starting role over spring break, hitting the ball pretty well. comprising that middle infield with Gruyan. Palmer definitely, one of the just a guy you see in the cages in the weight room, a very, very hard worker.
He's the hardest worker I've ever seen.
Tireless
Really.
worker.
Early mornings, a great follow on Snapchat. He'll tell you when he's working. You'll see.
That he grounds out to third, 2 outs there, and that will bring up Kenji Yoshi, the catcher from all the way in the East Tokyo, Japan.
Across the pond.
Across the pond, yeah. I have family from Tokyo, Japan. I'd like to give them a shout out. I'm sure they're not watching the Garnet Sports
They
Network.
might be. They might be watching Kenji.
Seeing as local time is probably 1 or 2 in the morning out in Tokyo. But they say it's the city that never sleeps. So
That is what they say. The Big Apple.
the Big
Tokyo.
Apple. As that one is off the plate, 1-0 for Yoshi. That's true. I was reminded by our producer that you can watch after the game anytime you want on YouTube Live, sort of a DVR kind of thing. Rewind, fast forward, watch the game at your own pace. As that one is taken for a strike.
We really do it all here on the Garnet Sports Network.
We do it all here on the Garnet Sports
Whether you're
Network.
in Tokyo, the City of Angels, or the Big Apple.
With the Big Apple.
You can watch.
As Yoshi gets a single there to right field. That is a hit for the freshman catcher Yoshi. One of the workers for he does a lot of work, steady work, staffs the table at basketball. Just a really great kid, hard worker.
I think he was thinking of 2 there, and he remembered he's a catcher. Not the most fleet of foot.
And that will bring up the 9-hitter Ryan Burnett, number 4. Burnett, as I said before, one of 3 seniors on the team, and for a long time, been one of the leaders on this squad that missed some of that from Fishburne as he was coming back from injury. And I believe Burnett, the 4-year starter, if I'm not mistaken, out there in center field, a mainstay for this Garnet offense and for the defense. He makes a lot of great plays, over-the-shoulder catches, tracking balls that
Without a doubt.
your average center field wouldn't get to. Ball outside.
Plus arm as well. He's been known to hose some guys. Third, home. He doesn't care about a cutoff. He'll do it all himself.
And he's ahead in the count here, 2-0. Draws a lot of walks. Swings at that one.
A hefty cut there from Burnett.
Looks like he got a piece of it. Fouled off. 2-1. And a 2-out situation with a runner at first. Not expected to get a run in, but
Good move from Vassell there. Keeping an eye on Kenji at first.
not trying to get him into a scoring position. There's the delivery, a little bit high, 3-1.
Changing speeds there on a traditional fastball count. We'll see what he goes with now. And the Burnett's in the driver's seat in this at bat. 3-1.
Definitely a hitter's count.
Another look over at Yoshi.
How would you rate his pickoff move?
I would say on a scale of 0 to Zach Gonzalez, he's at about a Brian Gibbs, I'd say.
And that's a single for Ryan Burnett, and Yoshi will go all the way to third. That one took a little bit of a hop off the glove and then a hop off the turf as second baseman Matisky took a dive there. Great job to get the ball in play from Burnett. Runners on the corners, brings up the leadoff hitter Lou.
Little two-out rally here for the top of the order. It's good signs for the Garner. We'll see if A.J. Lou flew out to right. His first at bat. See if he can. His second time going around, seeing Vassell. If he can bring Kenji Yoshi in to score, tie the game up.
That one's taken for a ball. 1-0. That one also a ball. Looked like the same pitch location, 2-0.
Both look pretty good to me. See if this umpire might be squeezing a little bit, but 2-0 nonetheless.
He's got to do double duty this afternoon, so
True.
we'll give him a little bit of a break. And that one in for a strike, 2-1. Fans, you can reach us on Twitter at Swarthmore Athletics, on Instagram as well. We're also on Facebook. We'd love to hear your feedback, especially on our new broadcast for baseball, or just any general feedback you have. We'd love to hear what you'd have to say. Always looking for what we can improve on here at the Garnet Sports Network and on all our athletics coverage, as Lou takes another pitch, making it 2-2. Vassal battling back from a 2-0 count here. That ball bounces to shortstop. Easy out at second. And Swarthmore ends the inning without a run as they still trail 1-0 after 2. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be right back here on the Garnet Sports Network. I might go grab a snack. I advise you to do the same.
And we're back in the top of the second. Roy is joining me. He got a couple of Dodger dogs here. Garnet dogs, more like. A couple of all-beef Franks here.
Can't
all
beat
beef. That's what we do here at the Garnet. All beef.
Cannot beat a hot dog at a baseball game on a nice spring day. As Sumners was showing bunt there, called strike. He's pretty speedy. We might see him try to lay down another bunt. Swings at that one, fouled off. 0-2. Probably not going to see a bunt now.
One of the rare times so far this game that Grappy's been 0-2 or 1-2. He's sort of fallen behind on a lot of batters. So we'll see if he's got a lot of options here. He's got that good fastball that's going to be tailing away. And he goes with it.
And that's
left it up.
Single to left field for Sumners.
On that pitch, that's a good 0-2 fastball, but you got to elevate it a little bit more if you're going to keep it there. Left a little too much of the plate on that. Sumner shoots it into left. Good piece of hitting there.
Robbie Thompson will be up now. A left fielder. That was the fourth hit of the game for the Red Devils. Both teams at 4 hits. Here in the top of the third. Grappy goes to first. Time called by the umpire.
Some Swarthmore legends in the stands today. Of course, with Ernie Prudenti's dedication as well. We've got Professor Alan Schneider, psychology professor, legend of Swarthmore and psychology field in general, exchanging pleasantries.
A lot of notable people back here for the dedication, and it just shows you how special a guy like Ernie Prudente is and what he means, not just to the baseball program, but to college athletics and to the college in general.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss. I mean, we had Ernie in our office the other day doing an interview for a video that we put online on our YouTube channel. You can check it out. But that man just he has such a good memory for baseball and for sports in general. He can tell you, who they were playing on what day and what inning the team scored on, and who was pitching. And he just has this love of sports and for baseball that I think permeates everything that he does. And to see a guy like Ernie, to have him come back and have him be honored in such a way, it just really shows you that the impact that college athletics, especially at the D3 level, can have on individuals, on young men and women, growing up and having a very sort of formative experience in their life. And it's really great to see all these people back in support of Ernie. And we're really lucky to have Ernie as part of Swarthmore.
No doubt, Roy.
That one's fouled off. 0-2 still for Thompson.
So another 0-2 count here. Groppy's got to be a little. Oh, and it looks like we have another umpire.
Oh, it's nice.
A good applause. And he's just doing it on the fly. He's doing it live.
We're doing it live.
You got to love that. You got to love that. Just hops out the Camry, rolls onto the field. Give me the count. Let's play.
That's a ball, 1-2. Groppy looking for that payoff pitch.
Yeah, good show pitch. Good show fastball there for Groppy. Hopefully going to set up this. We'll see if he throws that tantalizing slider.
Tantalizing.
It is tantalizing.
Did you look up a thesaurus before you came here, or what?
No,
what
I'm
happened?
just well read, Roy. I have.
That's right.
I'm a walking thesaurus.
We got a Swarthmore man in the booth here.
That's exactly.
Umpire calls time. I'm sure he's feeling very relieved not having to do it alone.
You will see how tantalizing this slider is right here.
Sounds good. Goes to first.
Keeping an eye on Sumner's over there at first.
Sumner's is pretty quick. Definitely prone to steal a base or two. Takes a lead. Groppy goes back.
A little close there. Here comes that tantalizing slider, Roy. Oh, he left it up. Wasn't one of the more tantalizing that Groppy's thrown in his career, but I will say he did go to the slider. Just got to bury that more.
Thought Yoshi did a good job to try and frame it, but couldn't quite convince the umpire there. That one fouled off. Count still 2-2.
Comes back with a fastball.
Spin. Not sure how many pitches in this at bat, but
yeah, Thompson's really working him here.
That one low. Sumner going. And he's out. Good tag by Matt Palmer on the throw from Kenji Yoshi to get the runner. Sumner's not looking convinced. Kind of hanging his head.
The new umpire, quick to join the fray. A little controversy there. Here comes head coach of the Dickinson Red Devils, Craig Hansen, out to state his case. You gotta be wondering if he's saying you didn't even get a warm up. You just came out here and are making calls.
Yeah,
definitely a close play at second. Glad that play happened after an ump got out there though.
Yeah,
that would have been it would have been a little more controversial maybe if we had to make the play at home.
Yeah. Gonna have a little discussion here. Stating his case.
It's a brief one. Not a lot of flair. I was hoping for a little more drama. Hey,
we got a lot of baseball left.
We got 16 more innings, right?
We got a lot of baseball left.
Something more will happen. Who knows what will happen today, Roy?
In baseball, you never know.
You never do know. We went,
And that is a deep ball.
That is hit well.
That is a home run.
Wow, a home run.
Over the left field wall. And, I mean,
it's so there's a lot of construction going on left field. So the dimensions have definitely changed a little bit in favor of hitting. But I will say that ball might have been out on the old field.
That was a pretty well hit ball. And, if you're the Garnet, you don't want to give a home run up, right? But I guess there's a small bit of relief that
Yeah.
instead of a 2-run shot, it's just a 1-run shot.
Absolutely.
With the lead runner getting tagged off. But
Thanks to Kenji Yoshi there for the throw out down at second. But no, well struck ball by Thompson to say the least. Groppe leaving a fastball just out. You gotta, too much of the plate on that one.
got punished for it.
Yep.
That is a strike.
Now
and
the 3-hitter is up.
For those of you wondering, watching the broadcast, the buildings behind our new dorms called new PPR. Pittenger, Palmer, and Roberts are the dorms in that area of campus, and Swarthmore is looking to increase dormitory space as he goes swinging on that 1 and 2. And so as those fields are being built, the dimensions of the field have been brought in. I think after the construction is finished, the dimensions will be changed again. These are temporary for about a year, and they'll be made final once the construction's finished. But the wall will not be quite as deep as it was in the past. Definitely more of a hitter's park now.
For sure.
Especially in that left field. That's a ball. That's the one thing, following other sports and following baseball, it's a little bit different, right? Because there's no uniform kind of standard. I mean, the infield is uniform, 90 between the bases, but the outfield dimensions can vary so extremely, in major league parks at this level. And
you got the Houston Astros have a hill.
Yeah, they got a big hill out there
in center field. You got, legendary configurations like, the corners in Fenway Park. There's like the
Green Monster.
The Green Monster there, but there's a little angle where the ball gets stuck in there. It's like a sure thing inside the park home run sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I would say that Swarthmore has the field here at Clothier is a little bit more conventional, as most are, I guess I would say, in D3 baseball. But I was remarking today, Roy, about how I'm maybe a little bit biased, but I think that Clothier Field might have a strong case for nicest ball game experience.
Yeah.
And field in general. Of any Centennial Conference team. I mean, Hopkins has a good case as well. I'm not particularly fond of the turf, but I think the scenery here, especially when the
dorms are finished.
You got the barn down the first base line. This new, of course, fabulous press box. I would say that this is one of the more scenic venues, Centennial Conference.
Sakowitz walks to first as we now have 1 out. Groppe looking to maybe roll up a double play here. Hopkins, the man who doubled earlier to drive in a run, he drove in Sakowitz. That one is a strike. He's up to bat now. Now, I have a very limited experience with other fields. I
sure.
Mostly.
You're a homebody.
Yeah, I'm a homebody. I work at Clothier Field. That's my home away from home. So I can't really speak to the quality of other fields, but I definitely do like the atmosphere here at Clothier Field, especially with the addition of this press box and the grandstand. I think once the dorms are finished, the viewing experience for the students over there will be really unique in Division III and maybe in Division I as well. So I think a lot of the construction that's going on is making this just such a pleasant place to play. That ball
hit very
high.
Well. Oh, boy, that one was crushed.
And that's another home run.
That ball was hit.
This one a 2-run shot to a little bit left center. That's Hopkins touching them all here, driving in Sakowitz. And that'll be 3 runs this inning for the Red Devils, making it 4-0 for Dickinson.
Hopkins really went down there and grabbed that one. That was a low strike, but really turned on it. He's sort of got that uppercut swing that really, does well with those low pitches, and he definitely barreled that one up. The construction workers are fielding that one.
So far this season, there's been a couple home runs here at Clothier Field. Against Widener, I believe Jared Gillen and Connor Elliott both had home runs. That one is high. And now there's been 2 home runs this inning. One, a solo shot from Thompson, and then a 2-run shot from Hopkins. That one, a strike. Scoreboard should read 1 and 2 with 1 out.
Having a little bit of difficulties down there.
That's a ball.
We'll see if. Oh my!
That one is hit long, and that one
was hammered as well.
is gone.
That one was hit quite far. I think that was the furthest of them all.
Hopkins, or excuse me,
Carter.
Carter
We'll see if the
going yard.
we'll see if the bullpen is getting, maybe bring in relief pitcher David Yelsey. So,
Yeah.
and I was gonna say Midkiff out to chat with Groppy a little bit. Really got to settle him down. You know, the bullpen seems to be getting hot. I'm not sure who's warming up, but I've got faith in Groppy to get through this.
It's tough. You know, I don't know the mentality of a pitcher. I haven't played competitive baseball ever in my life, but I can't imagine that it's easy. You know, giving up 3 home runs in an inning and having to go back out there and, you know, try to right the ship and, you know, escape without any more damage. They're
taking big hacks. Tough play out there. Tough play. Well done by Gruyan.
Good job by Gruyan to
That's
go
that
to
tough
left.
Bermuda Triangle type play. Almost an identical play to the one at the end of the season last year against Franklin and Marshall. Wesley Fishburne tore his ACL on a tough play. Maybe a little reservation.
A little bit of technical difficulty there. Sorry about that. And that one's a ball. That second one is a ball. Quick pitch there from Groppy. Not a lot of time in between pitches. I can't help but imagine he's feeling a little restless there, trying to get out of this inning with 2 outs. Threw that one pretty quickly after that one. Fouled off.
He's got to get back to what he does best. That's a good two-seam there, running away from the lefties. Keep that ball down. I don't know if a little bit of tiredness is setting in. He's thrown a lot of pitches this inning. But important that he gets this guy here.
And this guy being number 13, Band. Band hits it long. That one off the netting. That will probably go in for a double. Thought there might be a play there.
Palmer missed the pick there.
Good arm strength from Burnett, though.
Yeah, for sure. That's that defensive ability that we were referencing earlier from Burnett. Even to make a play on that, a ball to the wall. You know, not hits super fast. I mean, like, he had plenty of time to get the second, but Burnett with a quick turnaround and a strong arm.
Looked like Band was running a little slower than he would have otherwise, thinking there wouldn't have been a play there, and that one goes for a ball on Brown, the shortstop, number 3, Max Brown. We're now at the 8th slot here. Swarthmore trailing 5-0. 3 home runs in this inning have led to 4 runs for the Red Devils. That one in the dirt, probably a wild pitch, I would say.
Good dirt ball read from Band there, seeing that ball was gonna be difficult to field for Yoshi behind the dish. Took advantage of it.
So now we got 2 outs, runner on third. 2 balls, no strikes for Brown. Brown not swinging, making Groppy throw a strike to him. Count is 3-0. I imagine he'll take a pitch here, although earlier we saw a Dickinson player swing on a 3-0. But I'm guessing they're going to want Groppy to just have to throw it. That one goes for a ball, 4-pitch walk. And runners on the corner for Matisky.
Now batting number 1, Max Patilski.
The 9-hitter, Matisky, if I'm saying that correctly. Matilski, rather. There's an L in there. Another ball from Groppe. Matilski is the second baseman.
I'd be surprised if we'll see how if Groppe can settle in. We'll see if Midkiff makes a move before the top of the order comes back up.
Pop fly, running under it is Beaker, and that will end the inning. Dickinson using 3 home runs, 2 solo shots, and a 2-run homer to score 4 in that inning. To make it 5-0. Swarthmore will look for an answer in the bottom of the third. You know, Swarthmore had a 5-run deficit yesterday, so they know that it can be done, but they have a lot of work to do here in Game 1. We'll be right back on the Garnet Sports Network.
And we're back here in the bottom of the third. Charlie Levitt leading off. Curveball for a ball to start off.
That one in there for a strike. Count 1-1 on Levitt. Swarthmore looking for some answers here. Try to get some offense going. Swing and a miss from Levitt. 1-2. What pitch was that, Aiden?
That was another breaking ball. He seems to be favoring that against these lefties, especially. He did that with Beaker, and then another one there. It's a good pitch.
Levitt goes down,
just fades away.
Swinging.
We'll see what his approach is like against Fishburne, the righty. Wesley, one of the best bats in this lineup, so we'll see if Vassal is careful with giving him a good fastball to hit.
Fishburne is the single season. Oh, and he swings on the first one. It goes through the gap, and the middle infielder is there. I was going to say, Fishburne is the single season record holder for hits in Swarthmore program history. His sophomore season was his breakout year. First team all-conference shortstop, defensive gold glove winner in the Centennial. All-region type player.
He's got the resume, huh?
He's got the resume, definitely. Didn't have quite a successful year last year, but still, very reliable player on offense and got a lot of good defensive range from that shortstop position. So having a guy like Fishburne in the lineup really opens things up for you. And here's another guy speaking of breakout seasons, we got Connor Elliott.
Yeah.
He's down 0-1 so far in this count as Fishburne leads off of first.
A good changeup there to start off by Vassal.
Ball hit by Elliott to the right fielder. And Fishburne will be held at first. 2 outs for Cole Beaker. Beaker, a freshman first baseman and sometimes pitcher from Lexington, North Carolina. Another lefty. We'll see what Vassal offers him up. Beaker swings at the first pitch he sees, fouled off, 0-1. That one in for a strike, 0-2. Beaker a little bit behind in the count now. That one a ball. 1-2. This is the first game of a 2-game series these teams will be playing today. We got a doubleheader. Next game scheduled to start about 20-30 minutes after this one concludes. High fly ball to the center fielder Sumner's, easy to get under, and that will end the inning. Swarthmore getting a hit off of Fishburne's single up the middle, but can't advance him, and they will remain down 5-0 as we head into the top of the fourth. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Garnet Sports Network.
Well done. That's it.
And we got a new pitcher on the mound for Swarthmore starting here in the fourth inning. Will be Ricky Conti. Conti making his 7th appearance so far this season. He's pitched 23 1/3 innings. He's facing Sumner. Sumner's led off the last inning as he takes that strike 0-1.
Wow, a great start there from Ricky. An unusual start with the curveball. Not one of his better pitches. He's mainly a fastball pitcher, but
that is
looking good. Looking good.
Grounder to second. Palmer with the 4-3 to Beaker. Sumner singled last time and got caught stealing. And we'll bring up Thompson. Thompson, a guy who hit a home run last time out to, I believe, left field.
It was left field. That was the one that started it all.
Started it all. Let's see what he does this time.
Oh, another good curve from Ricky.
I went in for a strike. 0-1. Ball hit high. Right to Burnett. Doesn't really even have to move to get under that one.
Conti doing a good job at this start of the fourth. Really attacking hitters.
Made quick work of them so far. And now will be the designated hitter, Sakowitz, up to bat. Sakowitz, I think, has scored 2 runs so far this game. Swing and a miss on strike 1.
Good pitch from Conti there. That hard fastball inside. Hard to turn on.
Low for a ball, 1-1.
Tough play.
Weakly hit to the shortstop.
Wow, well done.
Gruyan got him.
Well done from Gruyan. A great play charging on that ball. Tough play, too.
And the slow rollers in the grass, you know.
That thick grass.
And that is a quick inning. 1, 2, 3, retiring the side in order as we head to the bottom of the fourth. And we'll see if the Garnet can get some runs on the board and start to chip away at that deficit. And leading off the inning will be the guy who made that pretty good last play there, with Gruyan charging that slow roller and making the throw to first.
How often do you see that? The guy makes a great play and he's the next one up.
It happens more often than you think.
It happens a lot, Roy.
We'll see if he can stay hot here. At the dish, Max Gruyan from Texas.
There's a
Ball.
significant Texas contingent
Yeah,
on
Sawyer-
this Garnet team.
Sawyer Lakes from Texas.
Jaron Schrock,
From Texas.
AJ Liu,
AJ Liu from Texas. Max Gruyan from Texas. I believe
Texas. San Antonio.
that one to left. Alvin Lubetkin from Texas.
What was that, 5?
That's at least 5.
5 Texans.
And that one is a fly out to the left fielder, and Matt Palmer will be up to bat.
Matt Palmer's really had a great year this year as well.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, didn't start to begin the season, but really earned his starting spot over spring break. Definitely competing, getting on base, and
And he's a guy that deserves it.
absolutely. And ball off the plate. 1-0 for Palmer. A lot of guys from North Carolina too on this team.
Yeah.
Got a lot of Texas and a lot of North Carolina. 1-1. Palmer, one of those individuals, if I'm not mistaken. He is from Asheville, North Carolina.
Asheville, yeah.
Connor Elliott and Cole Beaker also hailing from the Tar Heel State. As
Noah
that one
Linhart as well.
is a ball. Yeah, Noah Linhart. So we got 2-1 here. Big swing from
High fastball.
Palmer. 2-2. And
There's that changeup.
Palmer gets buckled there on that one. Looked inside, but he swung. Goes
A
down.
good pitch from Vassell there. Good put away pitch.
And now we have Kenji Yoshi coming up to bat. Yoshi singled last time and made it all the way to third base, but not able to be driven in as that one off the plate for a ball. That one also goes for a ball. Yoshi getting ahead here, 2-0. Swarthmore down 5-0 after 4 runs in the third for Dickinson. Fouled off by Yoshi, 2-1. Wind picking up here just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
It's kind of come and gone, but the sun is out, the clouds are gone, and so still a very nice day for baseball. That one in the dirt for
We've had
ball.
some sort of hit or miss weather as of late, I feel like, Roy.
Yeah, it's been very inconsistent. I think you get that a lot in this area this time of the year. But looking at the forecast for the next couple weeks, I think it's going to stay nice. So we'll hopefully end the season with some ideal baseball weather. That one fouled. Count is full. Going to have the payoff pitch here from Vassell. Haven't really seen any walks from him as far as I can remember. And Yoshi reaches for that one, fouls it off.
Good piece of defense there from Yoshi, just wasting that pitch.
And slow grounder to the first baseman. But he cannot handle that one.
Maybe a little English on that.
I think it did take a bit of a hop, but I think a routine play nonetheless, wouldn't you say?
I would say that was a, maybe not for the significance, but a Buckner-esque mistake, if you will.
Yeah, an E3 to be sure, from my perspective at least. But,
We'll take it.
yeah, you reach base any way you can, right?
We're not particular about it. 9-hitter Burnett up.
See what Bernie can do. 2 outs. Ball in there for a strike.
Burnett, normally a mainstay in the heart of the lineup. Having a little bit of a slower start to the season. But, has done actually really well in the 9-hole. Really willing to do anything for the team. Got to admire that.
Absolutely. That one is a ball. Going to be 2-0. And he lays down a bunt.
That's a
very
good one.
well-placed
That
bunt.
is a good one. Well done from Burnett.
Ryan Burnett, right, not necessarily down the third base line, but, right to third base. Got the speed to beat out the throw. Didn't even try the throw because he knew Kenji Yoshi would try to get to third because no one's covering third. Really expert piece of work there from Burnett.
Tough bunting on that breaking ball, that good breaking ball from Vassell. You really just got to see it in. Burnett did a good job there, just edging it over down the third baseline.
And now let's see if A.J. Luke can get a rally going here with 2 outs. That error proved to be somewhat costly. We'll see if it hurts the Devils anymore.
This is Lou's third time now seeing Vassell.
Say third time's a charm.
That's what they say.
So for you, in your experience as a pitcher, when you know that maybe your defense has made an error and that otherwise would have gotten you out of the inning, what's the mentality there?
Yeah, it's frustrating. It definitely is, especially, the potential third out to get out of it. That's definitely tough. It's that mental toughness that comes back to, focusing on what you can control, and that's just throwing strikes, doing your job. Errors will happen. That was one of the tougher ones to give up, I would say.
And safe. Yoshi gets back in time. That was a good pickup by the catcher, Hopkins.
Yeah, real good throw down there. It looked close.
Very
close.
Very close. Very close. Hopkins, I think, judging by his initial reaction, he would have liked it to have gone the other way, but
I would agree. He was walking off as if
As if
he had
you
already
got
done
him.
the deed.
Yeah, as if you had already got him. But looks like a 2-1.
Another bunt attempt.
Lou shows bunt, and now we have 3 balls.
Midkiff implementing a little bit of a small ball tactic here in the bottom of the fourth. Swarthmore has 6 hits though. Haven't been all strung together, which is the key, of course. But they've gotten them here and there.
And that one too short. Easy play at second. Swarthmore doesn't get a run out of that. Get a little bit going, but can't find any runs on the scoreboard. Heading into the top of the 5th, down 5-0 still. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be back here on the Garnet Sports Network as Conti will take the mound for the second inning, looking to make it as quick as the first one was. And we're back. A little bit of danger stepping into the batter's box. Hopkins with a double and a home run so far today. 6 total bases and 2 at-bats.
Not bad. Not bad.
We'll see how Conti deals with him. That one is a strike. Good start from Conti.
Conti been liking that pitching backwards approach, starting off with the curveball, sort of an unconventional approach, especially as a fastball-heavy pitcher.
That one is another strike, 0-2.
Conti seems to be locating well, both of his pitches.
0-2 now for Hopkins. Has not swung at either of them, both called strikes. He gets a piece of that one, fouls it off. Count remains 0-2. And that'll be another hit for Hopkins.
Are we going to see a cycle today from Hopkins?
It's a possibility. I mean, anything's really a possibility. But yeah, he's got the single, the double, and the home run. I mean, the triple's probably the hardest to get, and I think you have to remember that he's a catcher. So
He is a catcher.
triples for catchers are pretty rare.
It is rare.
Now batting will be number 31, Ben Carter. Let's see, Hopkins so far with no triples this year and 9 doubles. So not a big triples hitter.
Well.
As Carter steps to the dish, Hopkins leading off with that single to center field. That's a ball. Yeah, I don't know the last time I saw somebody hit for the cycle. I don't know if anyone's really ever hit for the cycle for the Garnet.
Yeah, I don't
in
think
a
so.
long time. I mean,
I haven't witnessed it at least.
fouled off. Yoshi running for it, but it is out of play.
Ooh, just barely.
Good effort from Yoshi. 1-1 the count. I mean, I guess when you think about it, it's a pretty arbitrary accomplishment to hit for the cycle.
How so?
Well, you have a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. I mean, is that any better or worse than hitting 2 home runs and a double, or,
I would say
2 doubles and 2 home runs?
I would say that it demonstrates your variability as a hitter.
That's fair.
You can get on in a manner of ways.
That one inside, almost hitting Carter. Agreed. I think I definitely understand
It
that
shows
argument.
the power component, the speed component. That you don't hit the ball in a certain way all the time. I don't know, Roy. I think it's a notable accomplishment.
That called strike brings the count to 2-2. I think it is. I think it's a notable accomplishment, but I think it's more of a kind of a quirk, like a statistical quirk, to say.
I will let our viewers know that this is just the tip of the iceberg between philosophical disagreements that Roy Grime and I have regarding baseball and other things.
Count it 2-2. Swing and a miss. Conti gets him down. Good at bat there by Conti. And Riley now will be at the plate. 1 out. Riley at the plate. Hopkins still at first. 1 out there on that strikeout by Conti. Great job by Conti. Worked that one in there. That one is a ball. I'm joined now by the great Ernie Prudente here in Prudente Press Box. Ernie, it's great to have you with us as always. How are you doing today?
It's nice to be here to watch the game from the press box. Nice and warm and cozy, and it's a different image watching from here, from down in the stands. It's a great view.
It's picturesque. I mean, we're so lucky to be in here to bring these games to the viewers at home and from a world afar, as that one goes in for a strike. Just such a great opportunity to be at a place like Swarthmore, at a field like Clothier Field on a day like today. Couldn't really ask for more.
And not a cloud in the sky. It's just wonderful.
Absolutely.
I can't believe how beautiful the field looks.
He smacks that one. Jumping, leaping was Burnett. Goes over his glove. Rounding third is Hopkins. Hopkins is held at third, as that will be a double for number 36, Riley.
We need more of those hits. Wow, great.
Dickinson has really used those extra base hits today to score those runs. They had 3 home runs in the third. They had a double there. They're threatening here with 1 out and 2 runners in scoring position. What do you think the Garnet can do to kind of slow down their hitters?
Well, you got a better pitching. You have to put the ball where they can't hit it. And they're laying it right in there. Those guys are good and strong, and they got good strokes, and they can hit the ball. It's a pitching game, and you have to have better control than that. But that's a good team. I think Dickinson's a good team.
That ball is low. Count is 1-0. If you're just joining us here on the Garnet Sports Network, That goes in for a 2-0. I'm joined here by Ernie Prudente. Today we dedicated the press box and grandstand, the Ernie Prudente press box and grandstand to the man who's sitting here on my right, longtime baseball and basketball coach here at the college and a professor of physical education. Ernie, it's great to have you here on this day, and we've talked.
It's nice to be here. It's nice to be associated with the college. It was an honor and a privilege to be associated with such a nice school like this.
And I'm sure, a lot of people, there's been a lot of people here who came for the occasion to support you, and I'm sure there's even more people out there at home, who wish you could be here, and they're watching on our broadcast. And do you have anything you'd like to say to those people? Any shout-outs or, words of support you'd like to give to them?
Well, the thing is, you should come back to the college to visit because it's just a beautiful campus. And watching baseball is outstanding. And if you donate to the college, it's even better because people can treasure your generosity to help students come here to such a fine school.
Absolutely.
And if you have some athletes in mind, tell them to come here because it's a good place to go. They'll get a good education and they'll play a lot of good baseball. So come on board. Anyway, it's nice to be here.
It's great to be here with you, Ernie.
And I had a lot of my baseball players coming back, so it was really an honor for me to see them. They're just wonderful.
And that walk issued to Band will load the bases. 1 out, and Brown at the plate.
High pitch.
Dickinson looking to increase its lead. They're ahead 5-0 here in the top of the 5th, using 3 home runs to score the majority of those runs. This is the first game of a doubleheader at Clothier Field. That ball fouled off, count at 1-1 for Brown, the 8-hitter. Swarthmore looking to rebound from a loss yesterday. They went down to Chestertown, Maryland to play Washington College in the second game of a series. Swarthmore won earlier the week 12-2 here at Clothier, but were edged 9-8 on a walk-off wild pitch with the bases loaded. And that was after Swarthmore had erased a deficit. Check swing called, strike 1-2 now for Brown. Conti looking to get out of this inning without any damage. As I said, Swarthmore looking to kind of recover from that loss. And Ernie, in your experience, when you have losses like that, very emotional games, how do you sort of get the team ready for the next day when you might have to play, 2 games?
Well, that's why baseball's so good. You have football, you have a week between games, and you're really upset about it. But baseball, you play 3 or 4 games a week. You got to forget what's the day before, whether you win or lose. It's another game, and you have to go try to win the next one. And that's why baseball's so good. You can't dwell on your defeats or victories because another game is coming right up. And it's good that way. I like it.
That one fouled, but good job by Cole Beaker to catch it in fair territory, and a heads-up play to throw it to Kenji Yoshi to stop the runner from tagging up. 2 outs now, bases loaded. No one scored this inning, and the number 9 hitter Matilski at the plate. Let's see if Swarthmore can get out of this inning without surrendering any more runs. That's a ball. 1-0 on the count. Another ball in there, 2-0.
Wow.
In addition to today's ceremonies and this conference doubleheader, it's also the versus cancer game for both teams. So both teams have pledged a certain amount of money per hit, or rather they find people to pledge money. So based on the number of hits you get in the doubleheader, or I believe it's one of the games, the teams will donate that much to support pediatric cancer research. All the money goes towards that research. Some of it will go toward the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, near the University of Pennsylvania down in Philly, that does a lot of great work with pediatric cancer. The other part of it will go to research. A really good cause that these teams have been doing for a number of years. That ball hits the fence in left field, and that will bring home 2 runs.
Wow.
And so Swarthmore not able to get out of the inning without falling a little farther behind. Unfortunately, that will be 7-0 for Dickinson. I was worried there for a second we might see a grand slam after the home runs that we've seen from Dickinson. I thought that ball might clear the fence, but luckily for the Garnet, I don't know if you can say luckily, 2 runs score there, and they're down 7-0 as the leadoff hitter Sumner's up to bat for Dickinson.
But I want to tell you, this press box is awesome. I can't believe how nice it is, and it's so nice that you have a nice place to broadcast and televise the games. And at home, I'll be watching more games now than ever because I know they'll be on TV with a good view.
Absolutely.
So,
thank you so much for joining us, Ernie.
Thanks for asking me.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Well, have a great night. And Sumner's with a single to left center. That will score 2 more runs. And the hit parade continues, unfortunately, for Dickinson as Sumner is in its second. And not going the way of the Garnet so far here in game 1 of this doubleheader. 4 more runs in this inning. And 9-0 total lead for Dickinson. We'd like to thank Ernie Prudente again for joining us here on this his special day, the dedication of the press box to him, and for his continued contributions to this, not only the baseball program and to Swarthmore athletics, but to the college in general. Ernie, a real institution. The department's Sportsmanship Award, which are awarded every year to the seniors who demonstrate the values that Ernie embodies, that of sportsmanship and fair play. Ernie, just an institution at Swarthmore, a pillar of the community, and someone that everyone at Swarthmore really cherishes, and we're really glad to have him here on the broadcast today. And I will be joined again shortly by Aiden Miller, our resident baseball expert, to give me a little bit of analysis on this inning. That ball inside, 1-0. Bases were loaded. 2 hits from Dickinson emptied them, and now Sumner's is there on second, 2 outs. 9-0 for the Red Devils. Another ball, 2-0. A lot of people here enjoying the game, enjoying the food and the spread that's been set out by the Swarthmore Athletic Advisory Committee, or SAC, who's done a ton of programming this week for D3 week. That ball is inside, 3-0 for Thompson. Thompson with a home run earlier this game in the 3rd inning. It's Division 3 week. Division 3 week coming to a little bit of an end, and but we're really grateful to have this opportunity to celebrate the uniqueness of Division 3 and the balance of the student-athlete equation that all of our students strive to achieve, and I think achieve very admirably at a place like Swarthmore College. And now back on the mic is Aiden Miller.
I am back.
And that one nestles into right field. Sumner's getting the green light. He's quick enough, and he'll score from second on that single. 10-0 for Dickinson after 5 runs in this frame.
So needless to say, tough inning.
Been a tough inning for the Garnet.
It looks like the pen is not going though. So Coach Midkiff is planning on riding out Conti for at least the rest of this inning. A lot of hits all strung together here.
Yeah, I thought they had a really good opportunity there. That one in for a strike after Beaker caught that foul ball, preventing the runner from tagging up. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Yeah. But that's again, that's baseball for you.
It's a fickle sport, huh?
And Gruyon with the backhand, hopping to second. Did he get the force? He did. Athletic play from Max Gruyon.
Fantastic play from Gruyon.
With the little backhand and then the hop with the throw. Just a really athletic play from a guy
Fantastic play.
who's had a couple of those already today at the shortstop position.
Yep.
So Garnet down 10-0 as we head into the bottom of the 5th. Not the place you really want to be, I would say, at this sort of point in the game. Luckily, if you can find a silver lining, you still have 5 innings to try and find some runs.
Exactly.
And we'll see if Swarthmore can do that as they come up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. Going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Garnet Sports Network.
Back in the bottom of the 5th, Charlie Levitt leading off. A spot that he's pretty comfortable with, leading off a little bit last year. Really being bounced around to different spots in the order in the lineup this season. Anywhere from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 9th, 8th. An on-base percentage guy. A little bit of pop, too.
He had a home run last year.
He had a home run last year. Little sneaky pop.
3-0 the count here for Levitt. As he swings at that one, I stand corrected. The count was 3-1. The count is now full. See what pitch Vassal dials up. What do you think he's got here?
I think the curveball. Oh, it's a fastball there.
And grounded to the second baseman. Play at first. And 1 out. Batting now will be Fishburne. See if he can get something going here for the Garnet. I mean, I guess when you have a deficit, 10-0 deficit, you sort of think to yourself, you got to get 1 run at a time.
Yeah.
You can't really think about it.
Just base runners.
Right. Get people on base, get those runs in.
Yep.
Fishburne swinging at the first pitch, flying to right field, caught for the second out of the inning. You're not going to score all 10 runs at once.
Yeah.
You got to kind of chip away at it
Absolutely.
if you can.
I will say Vassal he doesn't look like he has, dominant stuff. Nothing really lights up the radar gun, but he nibbles around the edges of the plate pretty well. And that's just enough, really, to, enough at least today so far to keep the Garnet bats at bay.
That is a strike on Connor Elliott.
Again, that's a good slider, just backdoor, just getting the outside of the plate. And then a
Elliott
good changeup.
To third. Fielded cleanly. Play at first. That's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Red Devils.
Vassal making it look easy.
Making it look pretty easy. Unfortunately for Swarthmore, it has not been easy for them. And we'll go into the top of the 6th as Dickinson leads 10-0 here at Clothier Field. Swarthmore putting their third pitcher of the game on the mound. It will be number 32, Adam Shower, a freshman out of Washington, D.C. He's made 2 appearances so far this season, started in 2 games, got an 0-1 record. Going to see what he has to offer here in this game.
Yeah, a little bit of an unknown. Shower is
We
hard
have
fastball, but yeah. So we'll see what his plan of attack is against these Red Devil hitters.
We also have another substitution. We've got Cal Barnett Mayotte at third base, taking the place of Wesley Fishburne. And Hopkins is up to bat. Rick Hopkins.
Hopkins had a home run today.
He's got a home run. He's got a double. He's got a single. He's looking for a triple, I suppose. And he will at least add a single as that one gets past Gruyan, who dives but can't get it in his glove.
Well, Hopkins has had a day.
He's had quite a day so far. And Carter will be at the plate.
These are the big boppers for Dickinson.
Shower on the mound. 1-0. Ball off the plate. 2-0 count. Yoshi still behind the plate. Garnet defense the same with the exception of third baseman Cal Barnett Mayotte coming in for Wesley Fishburne. Fouled off toward third. 2-1. Thought the Dickinson third base coach might try to barehand that one, but
Yeah,
wasn't feeling up to it, I suppose.
not up to the task with the bare hand.
Off the plate, 3-1 is the count on Carter.
Number 31.
Number 31, that's correct, yeah. Ball fouled out of play. Count is full with a man on first. That is Hopkins, the catcher, who is 4 for 4 so far today. That is a ball 4, and that will bring Carter to first and put Hopkins at second for Riley, number 36.
A 3-2 curveball there. You don't see it very often. Left that one up. Ooh. Wanted to swing at that one. That's those high fastballs that look so good until the last second when they're by you, but did well by him to hold off on that.
That one called for a strike. Looked like, I don't know, Riley is he crowding the plate or?
Yeah, he definitely didn't like that one. Maybe got a little black. I don't think he called it on the swing there.
No, I don't think he called it on the swing. Ball put into play. It's back off the wall. They're going to send Hopkins home, and the runner will stay at first and second. So that was a long single from
a little confusion on the
Riley.
base paths there.
Yeah, not sure if I should go from second or third, and he stays.
Well, Carter was turning second and then stayed. So what looked like a sure thing double ends up just being a single.
But a run does score, and that will make it 11-0 as Band comes up to the dish. And no outs here for the Garnet with runners on first and second. First pitch goes in for a strike. 1-0. Or 0-1 rather, the count. That one off the plate, 1-1. Inside 1-2. 2-1 rather. I apologize. Ball in the dirt, count at 3-1.
Shower having a little bit of tough time with that fastball command.
Ball in play actually hits off the batter's foot. I think that might have hit the gap if it didn't go off his foot.
If it hit his foot, it'd be a foul ball.
No, I guess what I'm saying is the runner from first to second, it looked like it hit off of his foot.
Oh. Yeah, if it hit his foot, he'd be out.
Okay, but I'm almost certain it hit his foot.
I think it hit a bump.
Okay, fair enough. That one in for a ball as the runners advance from first and second to second and third. I guess my eyes are playing tricks on me.
They're deceiving you.
I thought that one was going in the gap. Thought that one was going to go for a hit.
Palmer there, too swift. He's a rangy second baseman.
Too swift. 2-0 the count. 1 out for Max Brown, the shortstop. Ball outside, 3-0. Shower working from behind on a couple of these at-bats. See what he can do here. Likely going to see Brown take a pitch. Takes that one in for a strike, 3-1. That one.
Got by.
And he stops the run, though. Good heads-up play by Shower to run to the plate and get the tag on.
No slide there from
Carter.
From Carter. Surprising.
So that will be a walk and
an out.
An out, yeah. 2 outs here.
Not a horrible trade.
Matilski, yeah, if you can let the guy go to first and get the guy at third. Matilski, the 9-hitter, up to bat here. $11-0 for Dickinson in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the 6th, rather. Ball off the bat, and it nestles. A run will score. Number 36, Riley, crosses the plate. Runner on first and second there.
Off the end of the bat there for Matilski. Got good contact, but just off that weak part of the bat, so just nestled right in there for a hit.
Sumner's the leadoff hitter, now at the plate. 12-0 for Dickinson after 2 runs in this inning, and I imagine if this game remains a little bit out of reach for the Garnet, we'll probably start to see more substitutions on offense and defense and get some other guys into the game. Strike 1 on Sumner's.
I'd say that's a wise prediction.
Gonna open up the bench a little bit.
Yeah.
But until then, starters remain in with some exceptions. Sumner's starting center fielder off the bat. Rolls to the shortstop, got the out at second. Ending the inning, Dickinson leads 12-0. 2 more runs added in the 6th. Heading into the bottom, Garnet with a lot of work to do. Let's see how they respond. Cole Beaker here to lead off the inning for Swarthmore in the bottom of the 6th.
I got to tell you, I like when Cole Beaker hits just because I get to listen to that song.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. What would be your walkout song, Roy?
That's a good question. I don't know.
This is a question I like to ask people. It's sort of a personality question. It like tells you a lot about someone, what their walkout song would be. Well, would you first of all, would you be a pitcher or a hitter? Oh.
Beaker hits that one far. Right fielder retreating at the fence. Beaker going to go 2.
I thought that was gone.
Yeah, I thought that might clear the fence there and right, but good double by Cole Beaker.
Good hit. Good piece right there.
That puts Max Gruyon to the plate. To answer your question, I
See,
think
if you're a pitcher, you get a little bit more time,
you get a little bit more time. Yeah, I think.
But a hitter, there's an art to a good hitter's walk-up song. Just like a short, sweet, get you amped up.
I've always liked the opening riff of Queens of the Stone Age. No one knows.
Okay.
I think that is probably a good amount of time for a walk-up.
For a hitter's one?
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Gruyon getting a piece there. Is that one going to hit the wall?
Wow.
All right. Get some hits and some runs here as Beaker goes all the way from second.
Surprising that Gruyon didn't try for 2 on there.
So Swarthmore gets a run back here in the bottom of the 6th. 12-1.
A couple good pieces there from the freshman.
Very good pieces. I think Beaker and Gruyon both have been valuable assets in the lineup, not only defensively but on offense especially. I mean, we've seen what Gruyon can do there in short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's see what Palmer can do here. Ball off the plate.
This Garnet team definitely has pieces for the future. I think that they're, I hate to use the rebuilding term, but they have a lot of young talent that is.
And another piece there. That is a hit from Palmer, but Gruyon will get to second. Couple singles. We have a pinch hitter here, Jackson Roberts. Roberts will be pinch hitting for Kenji Yoshi. I stand corrected. Kenji Yoshi will be hitting. And Yoshi, excuse me, sorry, I apologize. Yoshi will be hitting. He's staying in the game. Ryan Burnett is up to bat next.
Not sure exactly what's. Jackson Roberts looked like he was about to have a pinch hit opportunity, but then Burnett looks like he'll be hitting as previously planned.
Not exactly sure what's going on. We'll give you the scoop in just a second. As there's a little bit of a conference there for the Red Devils. Vassal's he's still in the game. He's looked good up to this point. I mean, he's looked pretty solid. Got a shutout going through 5, and Yoshi now at the plate.
See if the Garnet can string something together. Runners on first and second with no outs.
Swing and a miss from Yoshi. What we have seen before was we have seen someone pinch hit for Yoshi, and then someone comes in to catch.
Right.
In place of the pinch hitter. We have seen that here in the past. But we'll learn soon enough. It looks like we got Burnett next, and Lou looks like he's ready to bat too. So on deck and in the hole seem to be the same as they were before. Ball's a strike, 0-2. Yoshi falling a little bit behind here.
A little bit of a pump fake there from Coach Matt Midkiff. Have us on our toes here up in the press box. We were on it, though. We were ready. I don't know if our
statistician was ready.
Yeah, our statistician Tushar Kundu seems to be asleep a little bit at the wheel for the majority of today, but.
And that 1-3 makes it the first out of the inning. Palmer at second, Gruyon at third. Tushar Kundu, an expert statistician. For those of you listening out there, I'd like to thank all the fine, hardworking students that support us here, Swarthmore Athletics. We couldn't get it done without them. We've got David Molina Cavazos, our producer, Emma Giordano and Eric Gutierrez Prado on camera. Aiden Miller joining me here in the booth.
And it is worth noting that there have been some concessions provided for the fans today on Ernie Prudenti's Indoctrination Day.
I think indoctrination is probably the wrong word. I think you mean dedication, Aiden.
That is what I meant. But I will say that Tushar Gundu did eat 6 hot dogs here in the press.
That one is a strike. Hey, we're not. Nobody likes when other people count other people's hot dogs. All right. So let's get back here to the game. We got a 1-1 count on Ryan Burnett. Off the plate from Vassell. Count 2-1. That's a strike on Burnett, 2-2 as he looked at that pitch. Burnett usually pretty patient at the plate, draws a lot of walks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just that experience you get as a 4-year starter, someone who's in the lineup each day. Ball, count, full.
Watches that high curveball. Vassell maybe getting a little tired here. Going into the bottom of the 6th.
See if ball 4 load the bases.
Bernie turns on it.
Swings.
That's a tough play.
That is a good job by the right fielder to that is the right fielder.
Mm-hmm.
Carter.
A tough play there where you have the first baseman, second baseman, and right field all converging at max speed, really.
Yeah.
A tough play. Communication is key there, Roy.
Absolutely, and the wind kind of, you could feel it sort of picking up as the ball was in the air, and that can sort of change the trajectory.
It looks like the fans have donned some of their sweatshirts. It's getting a little bit chilly here.
Roy,
you're wearing a winter jacket.
I don't know if I would say it's a winter jacket. It's a jacket.
Not
Not
like
quite
a robust piece of material there.
It's a nice jacket. I will give a shout out to our sponsors, Under Armour. They are the official apparel provider for all Swarthmore athletics teams.
Shout out Under Armour.
As Lou is to the plate now, 1-0 the count, 2 outs. Swarthmore got a quick run after Cole Beaker scored. I believe Gruyon drove him in earlier in this inning. And now we got Gruyon on third and Palmer on second after they singled. Let's see what Lou can do. Ball in the dirt. I think Vassel's showing some signs of wear here. He's gone just about 6 innings. We might, do you think you put somebody else in, or?
Our statistician in the booth telling me that he has thrown 87 pitches now. It's a pretty good mark going into the 2 outs down in the 6th. He's been pretty efficient today, Vassell.
And that will be a grounder to the first baseman, unassisted.
Ooh, close play there at first, though.
Yeah, good hustle by Lou to try to run it out. In a game like this, there's still things to play for. We are going to take a quick break as we head into the top of the 7th. Swarthmore down 12-1. Looks like we're going to have a new pitcher. We'll introduce him, Tommy Bothwell, when the broadcast returns. And we're back here on the Garnet Sports Network. Got a couple substitutions to let you know about. Tommy Bothwell taking the mound. Out in center field, we have freshman Holden Bridge. And then at first base, we have Jackson Roberts coming in for Cole Beaker. Now we have a pinch hitter on Dickinson. It'll be number 9, Ryan Fiscaldo. Fiscaldo. This is his 7th at-bat of the season. He's got 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 doubles. So both of his hits have been doubles. So he has not seen a lot of action so far this year. Tommy Bothwell, another player who has not really seen a lot of action. He's 1-0 this year, picking up that win on spring break. He ERA of 3.86, 2 appearances, 1 game started. Ball's in the dirt. Bothwell from Manhattan Beach, California. Check swing. Strikeout called. Drop third strike. Tagged out by Kenji Yoshi. Interesting series of events there.
Yeah, I'll say.
And we have another pinch hitter for Dickinson. It'll be number 18, John Chudikoff. Chudikoff, this will be his 60th at-bat, 14 hits, batting .237. He's made 17 starts this year. So, as I alluded to before in the broadcast, this game, not necessarily in the books yet, but the result fairly clear, I would say. Both teams kind of emptying out their bench and giving these guys a chance to play, and seeing who wants to compete.
Yeah, important thing is that we got another 9 coming after this.
Yeah, we got another one coming. Short grounder to the shortstop.
Maybe
good play by Grullon.
Maybe attribute this game a little bit to a little hangover from the game earlier yesterday.
Yeah,
with the tough loss.
Yeah.
Maybe a little difficult to turn around so quick, but hopefully they got it out of their system. Game 2. Start anew.
See what they can do in game 2. And that will bring up Hopkins. I think Hopkins 4 for 4 today. He's got 2 singles, a double, home run. Got a number of runs, I believe. He might have scored every time he's been on base. He's had quite the afternoon so far.
He has. Oh, another
well-hit
ball.
And so here's the thing, right? He's the catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Do you expect him to catch the second half of this doubleheader, the nightcap, or do you put in another catcher?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's definitely a lot to ask a guy to do 18 innings of catching.
Exactly.
But that ball's hit well too, but foul. We'll see. We'll see what Coach Craig Hansen has in store for game 2. Whether he's got another catcher on the bench that he can throw in, but if you're asking me, I'd want Hopkins in the lineup at least.
Yeah, and the other thing to consider, Dickinson was one of those teams that I mentioned before that didn't play yesterday. Swarthmore and Wack were the only ones who got the game in.
Oh, really?
Every other game was postponed to Sunday. So Dickinson and all the other conference teams, with the exception of Swarthmore and Wack, have to play 3 games in 2 days. So, Yoshi almost gets that foul ball just off his glove. So I think that would probably factor into your considerations as well. You want to give your guys a rest, and if a game is kind of decided. So we'll see what the lineup for game 2 looks like. After the conclusion of this game, game 2 will start in probably 25-30 minutes after that. We'll have Brandon Hodnett and Aiden Miller on the mic. I'll be switching over to the PA announcing, so you guys will be treated to the.
I'll miss you, Roy.
I'll be close by. Don't worry. And you'll be treated to the.
Brandon's a qualified substitute, though, I'd say.
The stylings of Brandon Hodnett, our Director of Athletic Communications. And another well-struck ball from Hopkins, and is that a home run? That is a home run from Hopkins.
My Lord.
So that's 2 home runs, 2 singles, and a double for Rick Hopkins of Dickinson.
That is a day for Hopkins.
Let's see. If my math is right, that's 12 total bases? because you got 8 from the home runs. You have the 2 singles, and then you got the double.
Yeah, it's up there.
Number 31.
That is a day for the senior Hopkins. He knew right when he hit that one too.
It's been that kind of.
He did a little Yasiel Puig bat toss there. Jose Batista-esque. What are your thoughts, Roy?
Got him.
Well, I guess we'll have to talk next inning.
We can talk about this for a second. No, Bothwell gets him going down swinging. Dickinson leading 13-1 as we head into the bottom of the 7th. I'm not against bat flips. I think bat flips add to the fun of the game.
It's an entertainment, right?
I think sports are inherently entertaining. You gotta let the players kind of have a little show, a little bit of flash.
Themselves.
Exactly. And I think that's a big part of the game. And I'm not a baseball purist.
I was gonna say the purists have another thing to say about it.
I think the unwritten rules are a little bit. I don't know, maybe a little bit out of date. I think some of those things are steeped in traditions that might not exist anymore. So yeah, I'm okay if a guy wants to bat flip or if he wants to watch a home run a little bit, as long as it's not veering into
within reason.
Right, within the territory of sportsmanship. If you're not making a show of it to sort of demean the other team, then I think it's acceptable.
Does that carry over then for other sports? I don't want to get too far off topic, but football celebrations.
Oh yeah, you got to keep the celebrations. I mean,
wow, you're in it for the flash.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you're a big T.O. fan.
Yeah, I mean T.O. was fine. I think those guys should be able to express themselves. I mean, they train to keep themselves in top physical performance. They're playing a game that is at its core value. It's entertainment, and let the players kind of celebrate. If a guy makes a nice touchdown, let him know.
I think that's one of the rare sports debates that you and I agree on.
Well, we'll have another. I'm sure we can find something that we disagree on. As we got a pinch hitter now, it'll be the freshman from Kansas, number 5, Jared Gillen from Stillwell, Kansas. Big guy. Swing and a miss.
This Swarthmore baseball team really represents geographically pretty well across the world, really.
And Gillen flies out to left field. And we'll see Barnett Mayotte up for the first time now. He came in at third base a couple innings ago defensively and hasn't had a chance to bat here, but his first opportunity for the junior from New York.
The Big Apple.
The Big Apple.
The city that never sleeps.
City that never sleeps, that's right. As that one's a called strike, 1-0. Ball grounded to short, fielded cleanly, played at first for the second out of the inning. And we'll have another junior up at the plate. We'll have number 11, Joe Jackson from Norfolk, Virginia, walking up to some September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ah, you a fan?
I'm a big fan of Earth, Wind, and Fire, absolutely. I think Earth, Wind, and Fire quality group. Swings the first pitch. He sees.
Tough play.
Shortstop lobs it out. I think that's a single.
Good cover from Hopkins there.
Yeah, good cover by the catcher.
You got to be impressed. The guy's been running all around the bases, and he's still willing to cover on the throw to first.
Yeah, no, he's done
a trooper.
He's done yeoman's work today. Although to be fair, I mean, when you hit a home run, you're not really running too fast, I suppose.
Yeah, he's still logging miles.
Fair enough. So Jackson with the single to first, followed up by another Jackson Roberts.
Well done.
And that one goes for a strike. Looks like we have kind of wholesale changes here as Jack Levine is on deck for Swarthmore. A single up the middle by Jackson Roberts. That moves Joe Jackson to second as we see Jack Levine. So we got Joe Jackson, we got Jackson Roberts, and we got Jack Levine.
The 3 Jacks.
Got some Jack going on here. Number 45, Jack Levine, a freshman from Simsbury, Connecticut.
Transfer from Wake Forest.
Is that true?
That is true. He did not play there.
Okay. I was wondering if he had played baseball at
I
Wake
believe
Forest.
He played club. But yeah, transferred. Glad to have him.
Swing and a miss. So he is a sophomore. That is what I have here in front of me is correct. He is a sophomore. I thought he was a freshman, but he is a sophomore.
He is a sophomore.
Transferred from Wake Forest out in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Beautiful campus. Not quite as beautiful as Swarthmore. Fouled off toward the Dickinson dugout. That one had some pace to it. That could have been.
That was a headhunter. Went right through the opening.
Could have been ugly.
The away dugout.
We've already lost an umpire today.
We
don't
have
need
lost an umpire.
Not trying to lose anybody else. Ball outside. Hopkins fakes the throw to second to keep the runner there. 2-2 count. Levine fouls another one off. Good at bat from Levine.
We're working this count here.
Count is full. Vassell is still in the game. He started on the mound for the Red Devils.
It's tough to look up the scoreboard over there and see 11 hits on the board for the Garnet and just 1 run.
Got him looking, and on the 3-2 count with 2 outs, Levine strikes out looking. We're going to have a bit of a break as we head into the 8th inning. Going to have probably some substitutions going out there. We'll let you know what those are in just a second as we come back soon on the Garnet Sports Network.
All right, we are back in the top of the 8th, 13-1 game. Will Line into pitch, number 29. Will Line from Marina Del Rey, California, freshman.
Line has not seen a lot of action so far this year. This will just be his third inning pitched, or rather, this is the he's pitched 2 innings so far. Allowed 1 hit. I believe that was against I want to say it was a Dominican or Hiram. It was over spring break. Ball hit high and deep, and
Ooh,
Holden
off the wall.
Bridge is there but can't make the catch. And that is Adam Quine leading off with a stand-up double. And coming to the plate will be number 13, Jake Band. Band, the third baseman, one of the few starters left in the game for the Red Devils here. Let's see what he does with a runner in scoring position. In the top of the 9th, swing fouled off over. Hope doesn't hit anybody's car. Swarthmore trailing 13-1 in the top of the 8th. After the conclusion of this game, we'll have a little bit of a break, and we'll bring the second game to you. It'll start roughly, 20 to 30 minutes after the first one's over. And that pitch is in the dirt, which will allow the runner to advance from second to third. Once again, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Garnet Sports Network, spending time on a beautiful Saturday afternoon with us and some Centennial Conference baseball. Earlier today, we had the dedication of the press box to Ernie Prudente. I've been told that Ernie has left the building, but one of those things where this, Ernie's kind of always around in a sense. And so,
That's very poetic.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we are in the Ernie Prudente press box. It's his name is literally on the building. Swung on by Band to Levine at second. Play at first, and the runner Quine will score.
Now batting number 3, Max Brown.
That'll be an RBI for him. 14-1 now for Dickinson as Max Brown, the shortstop, the starting shortstop, comes to the plate. Fouled off to left. Ball high. 2-0. And I'm receiving a score update here. Apparently our men's lacrosse team beat the Gettysburg Bullets.
That's big.
Ranked 15th in the country,
That
10
is
to
big.
8. That's a big win for the Garnet. Not sure the last time they beat Gettysburg. You might have to go in the archives for that. A huge win for Pat Gress and his squad. That ball goes in for a strike. A couple of years ago, Gettysburg was here, and they scored a goal in the last minute to force overtime, and the Bullets won in overtime. And so the Garnet have a history of playing Gettysburg close, but he goes down swinging. That's the first win versus Gettysburg since 1985.
Wow.
And first win versus a ranked opponent in 42 games for Swarthmore. This is coming from the Centennial Conference Twitter. And Austin Chang had 6 goals for the Garnet. The freshman having a day for Swarthmore. A big, that's a program-defining win.
Yeah.
Ball high. Now batting will be Jake Bevich. Will be his third at-bat, number 27. 27, I believe. I don't know if he's a pinch hitting or if he came in on defense. That one called strike. That's a huge win for the men's lacrosse team after losing to Gettysburg last year in the Centennial Conference semifinals. Ball put into play. Palmer at short. Ball easily fielded to the first baseman, pardon me. And quick inning for Line. Red Devils score a run to make it 14-1. We're heading into the bottom of the 8th here. Going to have another brief interruption. We'll be right back. But before we go, into the intermission, I'd like to remind you that today's the Versus Cancer game. So both teams have reached out to fans and parents and supporters to pledge money. So the way it works is how many hits the Garnet get. They get a certain amount of dollars from their donors. And so I think the hits come from Game 1. The Red Devils with 18 hits, Garnet with 11. And so a lot of money will be going to support pediatric cancer research and to the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, CHOP, which is, it all goes for a great cause. So these two teams are facing each other in competition, but working together for a very admirable cause for the Versus Cancer. You can find out more online, and with that, we're going to take a little bit of a break. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter starting off the end. It will be Daniel Boehmler for the Garnet. And we're back here in the bottom of the 8th. We got a pinch hitter to start things off. It'll be number 20, a freshman, Dan Boehmler. Boehmler from Superior, Colorado. Has not seen a lot of action so far this year. Swings at that one. Vassal's still in the game for the Red Devils. I imagine he's just going to go the distance, save the arms.
Big Dan.
Boehmler fouling that one off. Boehmler plays catcher, yeah?
Yeah, he does. He's a big guy, a strong lad. See if he can put a charge in the ball here.
0-2 for Boehmler.
Vassal's been, been not as perfect around the edges of the plate as he was earlier. A couple innings of stringing a couple hits together. Not the runs, of course, but we'll see if we can capitalize on that.
See if we can add a little bit more to the board here. So we get some more guys into the game.
Ooh,
Boehmler.
A good piece.
Looked like it was just foul. If it had stayed fair, it would have been a nice hit down the left field line, but no such luck. Ball off the plate. That one fouled off. It is going to be out, I believe. Covering a lot of distance was the Dickinson player. Not sure. Number 24. Number 24, Adam Quine.
Yep, got it. That was great.
And Boehmler battles to a walk there.
Good at bat for Boehmler there.
Bringing up Alvin Lubetkin, number 14. Lubetkin, one of those Texas freshmen that we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, from Bel Air, Texas, freshman catcher. We're going to have a pinch runner for Boehmler. It'll be number 31, Alex Beloga. Beloga will be pinch running for, I believe, the second time this season. Second or third. As Lubetkin steps to the dish. Ball outside. Vessel probably feeling the wear a little bit here. Been informed he's been thrown 116 pitches.
Wow. We were talking about earlier how they've got, obviously the game today, another one tomorrow.
Gonna have maybe a little conference.
Trying to conserve that pen.
Yeah, keep those arms fresh. Gonna have a little talk. See what's up. We've got Ryan Burnett as the first base coach here now.
He's looking good.
Doing it all, center fielder.
A lot of white. A lot of clean white uniforms.
I do like the garnet uniforms. The white is a nice look.
I will say I like both uniforms out today. I like the classic gray with the classic white.
I think the gray jersey with the red lettering and it's a good look. I think both teams have a nice look to it.
Yeah.
You know the one trend I've not really been a fan of recently, and I'm sure everyone who knows me knows what I'm going to say. But anything camouflage, anything with the digital camo.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan. I mean, the whole purpose of a jersey is to be legible, right? So why are you making the numbers difficult to read? That sort of defeats the whole purpose from a stat keeping perspective.
Well, I think your error in thinking, first of all, Roy, if I was to play devil's advocate, is that you view everything from a statistical standpoint.
Well, that's the whole point of a uniform number is for stat keeping purposes. As that ball's outside for Lebetkin, he's just taking pitches here, 3-0. Probably going to take this one as well.
Yeah, but the uniform means a lot more than just a statistic.
And he takes that pitch for a strike. That's understandable. I understand that. It's function and form, but you can't sacrifice function just for form. I mean, you can have a marriage of both. As Lebetkin takes the fourth ball, no outs here with 2 walks issued.
Vassell seems to be those 120 some pitches really
kind of wearing on him, I think.
Yeah, I mean that'll wear on any arm.
As Holden Bridge comes up to the plate, probably going to have a pitching substitution.
He's also thrown 38 innings already.
Yeah, I mean he's one of the workhorses for the Red Devils. I mean, as a pitcher, I'm sure you know it's tough to be taken out in the 8th inning when you can kind of go a complete game.
Yeah.
You want to just stay there. You want to just finish things up and have that complete game to your name. But probably best for them if they get someone fresh in there. And we're going to see who that is in just a second. The number partially obscured. Looks like number 14. Number 14, that is Tommy Coide.
Coide?
Coide. 2.1 innings pitched, not giving up a hit, a run, earned run, 3 strikeouts. Made 2 appearances so far, so guy who's not seen a lot of play.
He's a freshman, I think.
Yeah, he is a freshman, to my knowledge.
Right.
I apologize. We have the old roster in front of us.
What Coide does out here today.
Yeah.
But so back to this camouflage argument.
Sure, we can have this discussion.
Sorry, I didn't want to phrase it already as a combative argument. It is a discussion. I think that the argument, the devil's advocate, is that you have a dark green camo, whatever it is, and then you have white lettering. Is that so hard to see?
No, but there are some teams that
I'm saying if the function is your only.
Sure, I mean you can have a
criticism.
camouflage uniform with legible numbers, but I feel like the way that it's been executed by many teams is you have the camouflage and then you have the illegible numbers.
So do you have any references? Give me an example of one of these.
Well, I don't want to call people out.
All right.
There's a certain team in the Centennial Conference a couple years ago. They came here, they played. They had digital camo. They had red numbers on red digital camo with a light black outline.
I know who you're referring to.
And
I will say I agree that was a poor execution, but I would say attacking the entire concept.
I don't know. You just don't really see camouflage jerseys in other sports except for baseball, and I don't know. I think it's a trend that I'm not really a big fan of, but that's just my 2 cents.
To each his own.
My design aesthetic, and now. All that being said, we've got Holden Bridge up with a runner on first and second. No outs. 2 walks have been issued. We've got Coide in relief. Strike taken by Bridge.
Good fastball from Coide there. That's some good tail on that. On the outside half of the plate.
He's got a little bit of work to do here. He wants to get out without giving up a run. Foul ball. 0-2. Working pretty well here to start his appearance. Ball's in the dirt. Hopkins pounces on it.
Nothing doing there.
Got a pinch runner on second, Alex Beloga, and we have Alvin Lubetkin out at first, both reaching on a walk. Beloga came in for Boehmler, and that is going to be a 5-4. Can't get the double play.
Runners on the corners now.
Yep. Man on first and third. I thought they were going to try and turn a double play there, or rather I thought they would turn a double play there.
Terrell Dale.
Terrell Dale from Norristown, Pennsylvania.
At the dish.
Not a guy we've seen a lot of so far this year. Fouled off there from Dale into the right field area. Off the plate. 1-1. So, heading into the second game here, Aiden, we've seen Swarthmore. They have 11 hits. I don't know if offense has necessarily been the issue or stringing together those hits, but that one comes in for a strike. It's
Ooh, I don't know about that.
looked inside to me.
Yeah.
But umpire calls it a strike. So, for the second game, what do the Garnet need to do to come out with the W, or at least make a closer contest here?
Well, I mean, it's no secret that they have to pitch the ball better. Yeah. I mean, they played decent defense, and 11 hits is, that tells 11 hits and 1 run tells a sort of unlucky story of, them not all being strung together. So the offense is, getting some barrels on. But yeah, I mean, you look at that hit column for the Red Devils, 18 hits.
18 hits, 3 of those.
I would say,
or 4 of those home runs, I believe. Actually,
I would say, yeah. I mean, the long ball definitely beat us today, but it's about getting those first pitch strikes. Groppy,
ooh, comebacker to the pitcher by Gillen there after Terrell Dale drove in a run on that fielder's choice. 14-2. Is the count now as Barnett Mayotte comes back.
But I would say that, we saw Groppy and a lot of pitchers earlier today just falling behind in the counts. And then you're forced to, groove a fastball over. So you're not walking guys, and that's where you get, guys pouncing on those fastballs and depositing them out in the construction out in left field. So it's going to be important for Warm, I believe, is starting game 2.
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Ryan Warm, it's going to be important for him to, keep the ball low, bottom third of the zone, and throw strikes. They hit it. We've got the gloves.
Warm did play. He started against Hopkins last week in the second game of that doubleheader. It went Groppy, Warm, and then I think Lake. And then Linhart yesterday, so I think it would be Groppy and then Warm again today. I think you're right. That'll be that's sort of how the rotation goes for the Garnet. That one is low, as Barnett Mayotte is at 2-1 in the count, 2 outs for the junior third base and / shortstop, I guess.
Yeah, he's a utility guy. Good fielder.
Another ball by Coity. Swarthmore looking to load the bases up a little bit. They can get this one to be the third walk of the inning. Fouled off by Barnett Mayotte. Going to be a full count now. See what pitch Coity dials up. on the 3-2. What would you throw here, Aiden? What would be your go-to on a full count? Got to get the guy out.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go fastball. You need something that's a strike. No, he goes with the breaking ball.
Ball nestles in there to left field. Run will score.
The Cal Barnett special.
As Terrell Dale crosses the plate, making it 14-3. As Joe Jackson comes up to the plate, Gillen on third.
He seemed to be ready for. We were talking about you expect, a fastball, a high strike percentage pitch on the 3-2 count, but Cal was ready for the breaking ball, albeit not one of the best breaking pitches that Coity's thrown today, but Cal sit on it, put it right in left field.
Fouled off by Jackson on the first pitch.
Big swing.
0-1.
Big swing from Joe Jackson. He's got that power.
He can hit the ball.
He can hit it far.
Ball low. 1-1 for the man wearing 11, Joe Jackson.
Shoeless Joe. Wearing shoes today.
And he takes that one for a ball. 2-1 on Joe Jackson. I feel like this eighth inning has, slowed down a little bit.
It definitely has. It definitely has. We're sort of churning along here.
Yeah, those 2 walks and then the pitching change, and
yeah,
definitely slowed the game down a little bit here in the bottom of the 8th. Ball in for a strike, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on Joe Jackson. Another one low, corralled by Hopkins. Hopkins has really been the motor behind the Dickinson offense today. He's got 5 for 5 with 2 home runs, 2 singles, and a double. Not much more you can really say about that.
It speaks for itself.
That one in the dirt. That'll be a walk. Load the bases.
Now batting number 33, Jackson.
Now Jackson Roberts will be up to bat as Joe Jackson walks to load the bases. That's a strike on Jackson Roberts. 14-3 in favor of the Red Devils of Dickinson College. Nice swing, good contact at the fence from Jackson Roberts. It's going to be a double. 2 runs will score. Swarthmore brings it back a little bit here, 14-5.
Now batting number 45, Jack Levine.
Jack Levine at the plate. Walking up to Drake.
6 God. Like that song. I like that song. You don't strike me as a big Drake fan, though, Roy.
I'm indifferent to Drake, I think.
Indifferent to Drake.
I think I would say I'm indifferent to his musical stylings. As Levine takes the first pitch for 0-1. Big swing there. And 0-2 on Levine. Swarthmore's they've scored 4 runs in this inning to make it 14-5. But crawling back all the way will take quite a bit more work. That is a ball in the dirt. A little bit Coity he hasn't really settled in yet, has he?
No. I would say that he well, we know he's a freshman. Hasn't had a lot of innings yet this year.
No. Averages about an inning per appearance or so.
Yeah, he has had a little bit of trouble with the command, especially with that breaking ball.
Seems like at least
3 or 4 walks this inning.
I think he might only have 1. I think the other 2 might have been with a Vassal still. But
Correct.
Hopkins kind of having to kind of move behind the plate to block the ball.
Yeah.
Not sure if there's miscommunication there on what pitch he's calling or sort of what the deal is. But 2-2-2. Singled up the middle by Levine, and that's going to score another run. Joe Jackson crosses. We got runners on the corners as this inning continues. This has been an interesting inning.
Yeah.
Swarthmore bringing 5 runs, making it 14-6. As Alex Beloga, who came in here as a pinch runner earlier this inning for, I think, Dan Baumler, who walked, is now getting a chance to bat. Beloga has not had an at-bat so far this year, just coming in a pinch runner situation. But Coity having a little conference on the mound. And we're going to take a little bit of an intermission, but we'll be right back. Beloga now at the plate. As I said, he came in as a pinch runner. Swings at the first pitch he sees, popped up to the left fielder who catches it, and that will end the inning. But Swarthmore showing some spirit and some resolve there with 5 runs, making it 14-6. Not gonna, you're not gonna get 13 runs in an inning, most likely, but you get 1 and then you get another and then you get another and then you sort of see what happens. So a good showing from some of the substitutes there. Seeing guys who usually see limited action and competing and really getting a chance to show what they can do in those spots. So we're gonna head here into the final inning as Dickinson leads 14-6, and we'll have another new arm on the mound. It'll be Max Kassan, the junior from the Big Apple, New York. His sister Emma Kassan, first singles player for the Garnet as a freshman. She's had a pretty good year so far. Speaking of which, not sure what the women's tennis results are from today, but you have to imagine they're pretty heavily favored against Gettysburg and McDaniel, 2 of the weaker teams in women's tennis in the Centennial Conference. So we're going to have a little bit of a break on the Garnet Sports Network here. We'll be right back. And we're back. Here comes the hot stepper, Max Kassan.
The same thing
on the mound. Just takes 1 game to get that chemistry aid, and that's all it takes.
1 game.
1 game. And we're gonna have a new guy at the plate here, Joe Pepe. Yeah. He's at the plate.
Joe Pepe.
Joe Pepe hitting 200, 1 hit, 4 runs at 5 at-bats this year. Right at the Mendoza line is Joe Pepe. 0-1.
Kassan, the definition of the crafty lefty.
Yeah.
Not going to blow it by you.
Nah.
Not at all. But just nibbles around. Nibbles around the edges of the plate.
What does he top out at on the gun?
On a good day.
Yeah.
With the wind at his back.
Yeah, let's say.
75?
75.
Maybe 75. I don't know. But everything's got motion.
Yeah.
He's got his two-seam right here will run in on the hands of this lefty. He's got that big curveball right there.
Ooh, got him.
There. That big looper. That thing's nasty.
Now,
nasty.
we have coming back up is Fiscaldo. He pinch hit earlier. Batting
also, he again. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
He changes speeds really well. That's what Max does really well. And so even though the fastball's coming in at mid 70s, that changeup looks a lot like it. It's coming in at 68 or lower. So it just as effective.
Throws a pitcher off, kind of like a Greg Maddux type maybe.
Yeah, I'd say maybe more of a Jamie Moyer.
Jamie Moyer, okay. I have very few professional baseball comparisons, and that one's a little high for a ball. Jamie Moyer, that's not the first time we've talked about Jamie Moyer today.
No, it's
Funny
not.
enough. So earlier we had Ernie Prudente talking about his 1985 team that went to the NCAA tournament, one of the only games they lost that year, as Kassan gets that one in for another strike, 1-2. One of the only games that 1985 team lost was to a Division I St. Joe's squad that had Jamie Moyer on the mound. Guy a lot of you are probably familiar with. A one-time All-Star and a World Series champion. Jamie Moyer as
there's that changeup.
Fiscaldo goes down hunting.
See how that thing just fades away?
Fades away, yeah. Exactly right. And we got a pinch hitter.
Kassan looks good through the first two batters.
Number 20, Daniel Zamarin. And he's got 2 hits and 4 at-bats this year. He's hitting 500 in pretty limited sample size. See what he can do against Kassan. Swing and a miss.
Another good curveball.
Jamie Moyer, long time pitch for the Mariners, pitch for the Phillies, pitch for half
Red Sox.
dozen,
for a lot of
teams.
Yeah, really a journeyman.
Became the oldest pitcher to win a game, I believe, in MLB history.
Really?
Yeah, I was reading up on his Wikipedia page.
Is Bartolo Colon going to beat it this year?
I don't know. He's playing for the Braves, so maybe. Probably not, though.
Yeah. Is he gonna? You don't think he's gonna get a win?
He'll probably get one win. He'll get a win in there. Yeah, Jamie Moyer.
Another. It's also
big swing and a
talking
miss.
about Phillies greats. Ryan Howard just got signed by the Braves.
Yeah, minor league deal.
That should be interesting. I don't really see him playing over Freddie Freeman, but
probably not. I mean, there's a guy who's. Ryan Howard. He used to be
the man in this town too. Oh,
and he goes down swinging. Kassan gets him. And we're going to head here into the bottom of the ninth. Swarthmore still trailing by 8 runs, but, they got 5 runs last inning. If they can do something like that.
Striking out the side.
Yeah.
With not a pitch over 73.
Yeah, you're not going to blow by him, so. We got another pitcher on the mound.
Speaking of other pitchers that don't throw over 73, Nate Booth is in the house today. He was a good starter for a couple years, throwing around 74, 75 from the right side even with less movement. I really don't know what you attribute that success to.
We have another pitcher in here. Looks like number 28. Gonna have to figure out who this is. We got the last year's roster on here. Number 28. It's going to be Chris Dunn. There he is. Chris Dunn has pitched 3 innings so far this year. He's allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 9.0 ERA. This game is hitting the 3-hour mark here, just about. We got started a little bit late because of the umpire situation, but just about 3 hours have elapsed here. And after this game is over, we're going to have a little bit of a break, and we'll bring you Game 2 here on the Garnet Sports Network. Appreciate you joining us out here on this beautiful day, tuning into the Garnet Sports Network here, the online streaming home of Swarthmore Athletics. Really lucky to be in this Prudente press box and streaming here and just enjoying this beautiful weather with you all and bringing you some baseball action. Unfortunately, not the most entirely competitive game. Didn't go the way of the Garnets so far.
Baseball's back.
Yeah, baseball.
Winter's over. Opening day this week. Opening week, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm happy regardless.
Yeah, it's always I myself don't watch a lot of baseball in my own time, so
I think this is the best sports week of the year. You got Final Four, opening day, and the Masters.
It is a pretty good week.
It's tough to beat.
It's tough to beat, but I would make the argument. I mean, the national championship game was
a
little mixed quality there.
Yeah.
Lebetkin leading off the inning here for facing Dunn. Dunn rocking the looks like he's rocking the glasses on the mound.
A little Eric Gagne.
That one goes in for a strike. Yeah, Eric Gagne pitched in the World Baseball Classic, didn't he?
This year?
I thought he did for Israel. No?
Eric Gagne did.
Yeah, he says he could probably still pitch in the bigs.
He still got it?
I don't know. I mean,
he's still wearing the rec specs.
Probably still wearing the rec specs.
Oh, that's all that matters.
Yeah, so Eric Gagne, interesting kind of guy. Gagne, he's a Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah, people forget.
People forget that. Although, I feel that the save is a pretty check swing from Lebetkin. Doesn't go. I thought he went, but
Hopkins thought so as well, behind the dish. It'll be interesting to see if Hopkins is catching again for the second game.
Yeah.
Maybe DHing.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. You want to
he'll certainly
keep your best hitter, and as Lebetkin goes down looking, I was going to make a point, about Eric Gagne with the saves he had that season and the overinflation of that statistic.
I think there's a romanticization of the closer.
Yeah, absolutely.
In general, where people, and I'm maybe as much a culprit as anyone of just enjoying the like hard throwing, wild strikeout,
Kinda
closer
guy.
mentality. Yeah.
And that one goes in for a ball. As Holden Bridges up to bat.
I think that's maybe what is the reason why he won the Cy Young.
He won that. Well, he had I don't know how many saves. Did he have 40 saves that year? 30-some saves?
He had more than 40.
50. I mean, the guy had some ridiculous amount of saves, but I think it's one of those statistics that really kind of doesn't hold a lot of value. 2-0 on Bridge. Bridge fouls that one off. Count now 2-1.
What do you think about the statistic holds?
I think holds are probably more. Yeah, I think.
How?
I think they're more valuable. Well, because if a guy comes into a game and he doesn't get the win and he doesn't get the save, I mean, how do you measure his value statistically? He gets a hold.
But then what's wrong with a save?
Well, so the problem with the save is that
the 3 runs thing?
I mean, yeah, you pitch for 3 innings, you get a save. You could be up by 10 runs, but if you pitch for 3 innings, you get a save. And I think there's good relievers that'll probably, they don't play at the end of the game because they only play. Oh, that one goes off the glove of the third baseman there.
Probably an error on that.
I would probably rule that one an error personally.
Yeah, I think I would as well.
Dale at the dish now after that error allows Bridge to reach. Going to be an error on the third baseman. Well, so I think a guy like Mariano Rivera, he's a dominant closer, probably the most dominant reliever of all time. He's always going to pitch at the end of the game for you. But what if you need a guy like that in the 5th or the 6th or the 7th inning?
Well, that's an interesting argument. I mean, guys like Andrew Miller, Dellin Betances, it's now become, just as important. The romanticization that I was talking about, if you will, is now for middle relievers. Yeah,
and I think that maybe the analytics are kind of shifting that because the value of a save is a little bit overstated. I mean, I don't know the percentages, but I have read that if you're leading by 3 runs going into 1 into the inning, the chance of winning that game are pretty high. Regardless if you have this dominant reliever or not. Protecting a 3-run lead in one inning is not terribly difficult, I think, for most major league teams.
Are you going to finally jump on the Indians bandwagon?
Just because I'm an Ohio guy?
Yeah, is it Ohio native?
I'm not big on that bandwagon. I'm kind of a Mariners guy. So, growing up, Ichiro was my favorite player. Growing up, my parents used to live in Seattle. That was before I was born, but I've always felt connection to Seattle and through Ichiro. I think he was one of my favorite players. Even
do you like the Marlins now?
The Marlins? No, gosh, no.
Well, Ichiro's on the Marlins.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. As having a bit of a rough go out of it at third base there.
Yeah, I'll say.
Number 13, Jake Band. The guy, he started the game at third base. So.
Yeah, he's their starting third baseman. Would you say that's another error?
I don't know.
No, not really, but
it's hard to tell, really. But
probably should have been an out.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't play it well, to be sure. So I think the Mariners they're kind of a long-suffering fan base. They have the longest active drought in the MLB.
A long-suffering fan base, the Indians. That's the definition of a long-suffering fan base.
That one goes in for a strike here as Gillen's on the plate. I guess
the longest now than since the Cubs won.
Right, but the longest playoff drought belongs to the Mariners, I believe, at 15 seasons ever since that 2001 year when they won 116 games, tying the record, and then they lost to the Yankees in the ALCS, disappointing fashion.
Yeah.
Then the Yankees went on to lose to the Diamondbacks.
Are you a fan of the old Mariners uniforms, the blue and gold?
Blue and gold, yeah, I like that look. I like the trident. That's a good look.
The trident.
Yeah.
Another error.
And there's been some little bit of difficulty fielding here. I don't know what Dickinson. I don't know if that was really an error. It kind of bounced off the grass a little funny.
I feel like
did roll off the mound a little bit. I mean, it's a combination of bad luck and it's a combination of maybe Dickinson a little bit out of it.
They're in cruise control.
I mean, they've been up by what? They were up by 13 runs for the longest time, and so I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it, but their focus. It's not hard to imagine their focus having shifted a little bit in a game like this, in a game that really wasn't competitive for very many innings, to be honest. Unfortunately, Cal Barnett-Mayotte hits that one to third. We're gonna have a double play ball, not completed. As Dale scores, Hopkins running after Gillen, but Gillen's like, "Hey, I'm already out. What are you doing, man? I'm already out here. What do you can't get me out twice. It doesn't count for two."
That was pretty funny.
Hopkins still, he still got his eye on the prize.
Yeah, he's still gaming.
As Swarthmore had two runs there on that ball by Cal Barnett-Mayotte. This is
done by Terrell Dale there.
Yeah,
for seeing them sort of not paying attention, coming around.
Yeah, coming to score that run.
Good base running right there.
This has been a very, very weird game.
I would agree.
That one ends for a strike, 2 outs now. Joe Jackson batting.
It's not been quick either.
No, it hasn't really been a quick game. Not that you would really expect that with 35 combined runs, or 35 combined hits,
35
rather.
35 combined runs.
That's fouled off by Joe Jackson. 35 combined hits, but, I think the good news here is that if this is the first cancer game, the money pledge per hit, we got 35 hits. That's going to raise a lot of money for pediatric cancer research.
That's a fantastic point, Roy. That is a fantastic point.
So yeah. Anyway, no, it's been. I don't know how to put. I don't know how you would summarize this game. I feel bad for the person who has to write the recap.
Yeah.
Which would be me.
That
so
is you.
I guess I'm feeling bad for myself. Yeah, just a very strange game. We had that.
How would you recap it? Let's
I got a little bit of time. Yeah. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. And Tushar Kundu says it's not over, and then that one goes in for a third strike to end the game.
So
14-8.
It is over.
14-8 in favor of the Dickinson Red Devils. It's a strange game. I don't think it was as close as the score indicates. You know, Swarthmore is down by 13 runs up until the final 2 innings when they put 7 on the board to make it a little bit closer. But at that point, kind of written that off and focusing on game 2, I would say, for the most part. So yeah, this has been a production of the Garnet Sports Network. Game 1, Dickinson taking the front half of the doubleheader, 14-8 with 18 hits. Swarthmore at 17 hits couldn't translate it into the runs they needed. They'll look to regroup and get one back here in the nightcap on the Garnet Sports Network. We'll be right back. I will be shifting over to the PA announcing, and we'll have Brandon Hodnett with Aiden Miller. And we'll be right back on the Garnet Sports Network.